Tonight, we're bringing this week's flight sim news with thanks to SayIntentions. We check out Sim Update 5, World Update 21, the Mi-2 Hoplite, and the Rowsfire A107 Max overhead panel. Hello? Hello. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. Well, there's a bit of news. Ara does a bit of news, and we got some stuff to show off and things. Check out my screen, look. Don't fail me now. Ah, brilliant. Look, stuff. And they're slightly out of alignment, but stuff with things. Ah, Jesus, brilliant. Right, where would you get it? Right. And I didn't get any skip frames. Ah, brilliant. Oh, wait, Jesus. Right, I won't break anything else, I promise. I hope you're all keeping terribly well. And yes, the middle of the week, this is where we catch up with all the news making the headlines for our beloved flight simulators. And it's been a busy, week and a bit. We saw the release of Sim Update 5. We saw the release of World Update 21 and a brand new aircraft as well. So lots to talk about this evening. So hope you're all keeping well. Grab a tasty beverage and follow us into the valley of things and stuff. I've been very busy today. I'm busy every day, but today I was proper busy. Do you know what I did today? I installed a UPS, yes, an uninterrupted power supply. Just happened to find one in a box. Right? I was like, Jesus, I need a UPS. And I had one. So it's now plugged in, doing its stuff. I have the 10 gig switch. The internet, which is fibre, and I'll have Jesus of oil in my hand, and then I have, me NAS coming next week. Ooh, well, it's coming tomorrow, but the hard drives aren't coming to the week after. So it's all going to be on a new. I'm very proud of myself. Haven't a clue what I'm doing, mind you. I watched the car today. Birds. Oh, right. You've no idea how bad the bird droppings on my car actually is.
Can I get a refund?
No, you can't get a refund. Right, terrible bad. So, I had to. This will tell you how bad it was. I went to the automatic car wash, right, and I still didn't lift it off. Then I had to spend another €4 to blast it off. How are you, young fella? They're flat out. But the good news is it's gone until tomorrow. You know, the battery will need to be replaced. Wait, what? When? Now? It'd be grand. It'd be grand. But anyway, yes, busy one for tonight, folks. And, we'll kind of just jump into it. We'll welcome everybody in and, take it from there, shall we? Have you all been enjoying the sim so far? I gotta say, man, Sim Update 5, Jesus. I have noticed even here, just, sitting on idle, the GPU usage is way up, and that's what you want to see. I mean, your GPU wants to work hard when it's doing the sim. So that's great news off the bat. Do you know? We had some driving yesterday, of course. My sports injury haunted me from not winning every race. But yeah, I know that you know that I know I was going to win everything, but due to the sportsman injury, that time I battled in the Gardon, that's what happened. Yeah, 100%. But anyway, CP65 is here. You're very welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Vacuum is here. Alberto, a very good evening. Super Ty, sup? Mac Vision is in the house. Ryan is here. Thank you very much indeed. 31 months, buddy. Cheers, man. The boys, you're very welcome. Norse Viking is in the house. Mrs. TPHI, she's upside down lurking. Wait now, if you're lurking, is that also lurking upside down? I need to... Oh, Jesus, I'm after pressing a button there. What does that one do? We'll play this one. Mrs. TPHI, I hope you're well and enjoy the lurking from afar. Malky Mac is here. Happy hump day. Robbie, 61 Tree Studio. Good to see you, Robbie. Hope you're well. Crafty Tigers is here. Welcome aboard. Sir Camsalot. Nadude. Very good evening. Mac Mansers in the house. Welcome in. Gibbo Ireland. Gibbo. The photo you sent me now, Jesus, danger. But yes, I can see Murph's head banging around to this, and then my injury, 100%. Eamon 1973, 58 months with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed, Eamon. Cheers, buddy. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Where is this now? Spitfire RAF 100. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Wednesday. Leptorius is here. Good evening. APU Inspector, 215 streams in a row. Halfway to the weekend. Indeed, and we are. 98 Vulcan, good day to you, sir. Mr. TPHI has rambled in. Hello, sir. Hope you had a good day at work. You weren't as busy as yesterday. You're welcome in. I'm a Scotsman. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Wednesday. Dux is here. Welcome aboard. Mugan, good to see you, buddy. Canoe Head too. Hello from Vancouver of Canada, eh? Welcome in. Good to see you, bud. Flying Trits, good evening. Creo, a very warm welcome to everyone in County Mayo. Hope all is well. Uniform Goose, good day, Goose. Welcome in, buddy. Who else? Look, not Super, do you hear me? Goblin Zeus is here. Super Typhon's in the chat as well. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Yanni, welcome aboard. Hope you're well, buddy. Great to see you. Sunjammer's in the house. Happy Wednesday. Steiny is here. Good to see you, buddy. Route 66, Steiny. We're going to have to do it together. Let's go right now. You know, we just need to fly there, rent cars, and they'll all happen. Oh, and win the lottery, and it'd be grand. Right, Jesus. Home Wrecker, good to see you, buddy. Stu Snape, welcome aboard, Stu. Happy Wednesday, buddy. Flipper Alloy, happy Wednesday. Britain MCO, good to see you, man. And, well, I hope you're keeping well. Fiber Strike is in the house. Welcome aboard. Toto, 24.95. Happy midweekage, he says. Hello, Toto, and to Mrs. Toto. Hope you're both keeping very, very well. Flyboy is here. Good day to you, sir. Sim Guy is in the house. He says, good evening all from a windy Ohio. It's currently 11 degrees in Tipperary. It was 6 degrees this morning. I nearly died. And then it got warmer throughout the day. It was about 16 degrees. Right, spring. We're still in spring. But anyway, it's all happening now. Casey Wingboy is here for 31 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Great to see you. I see that Canada just bought 150 A220s from Air Asia. What? Really? Two Dogs, greetings from Wisconsin. Hello from Tipperary. Mr. 90's in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Proby Pete, good day from Arizona. Good day from Tipperary. Hope all is well. Let me see here now. Mugan, great to see you, buddy. The Tennessee Texan is in the house. Howdy, howdy. Welcome in. Heisenberg, good evening, Murph. What's news? Me waffling for the next 2 hours, I suppose. Accurate. But I hope you're well. What's cooking good looking? Oh, pass the sugar. How about some chicken? Give us the milk, old cow. Brilliant. Right. It was at that moment he was never invited to eat with the family. But yes, Flipper Alloy, greetings from the Hilton Head area. Ooh, very nice. DeRuiter is here. Good day to you. Jesus, lads, you'd want to see it now. 'Tis absolutely only gleaming. You could see yourself in it if you looked. Many don't look. Goose, thank you very much indeed for 5 in a row. No more buttons. Oh, there's lots of buttons. The battery will need to be replaced. We'll need to watch this. Wait till you experience the love bugs in Florida. Oh, Jesus. As in, like, wait, what? Love bugs? Are we talking about insects or something? Jesus. Birds and spring pollen. Oh, wait. Is that what you mean? Big birds. Birds, right? Birds, Richie. Or Eddie. Birds. Right, Trey. Did you ever watch Bottom, did you? Brilliant show. Steiny says, but that's because the car is normally gone. You're right. Velo.
Jesus.
I'll try that in English without breaking my voice. Velo is here. A very good evening. Colin Matter is here. Hello, Murphy. Where can I buy the lovely t-shirt of yours? This one? You can buy it on flightsimtees.com. We're going to be checking out their newest editions for those like to be dressed in the greatest fashions of our aviation enjoyment. That kind of made sense in my head. But yeah, they're all over flightsimtees.com. We'll be taking a look in a while. Now, let me see. Sure. Okay, says Mrs. GPHI. Zybok, good day to you, sir. Calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. You're looking well. Kirog is here. Good evening. Mrs. GPHI is flying. Oh, very good. Enjoy. Have fun. But yes, Tarnish Mossman is in the house. Hermit something. A very good afternoon to Boston. Hope you're well. Nick is here. Happy News Day. Had a fun weekend repairing my flight sim, which got bricked after enabling dev mode. Yeah, you can do that. Glad to hear it's all fixed though, Nick. Stick Figure is here for 44 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. A very good day to you, sir. I will be upside down momentarily. Excellent. Now, let me see. Zybak, yeah, it was good hell fun, wasn't it? The racing. I had a terrible couple of crashes. It was awful. Just Roy is here. Good evening, Murph and chat. Hope you're doing well. Just Roy, you're looking well. Happy Wednesday to you, buddy. Angry B is here. Heisenberg says, Murph, at least you don't have woodpeckers pecking at the side of your house. Pesky little peckers. Woodpecker? No, we don't. We don't actually have... Ireland doesn't really have any sort of exotic or mad creatures other than myself. There's not really much here, and like, things don't try to kill you. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that a woodpecker could kill you. Woodpecker, I started thinking of woodchuck. Chuck's wood. If a woodchuck, right. Anyway, moving on. Now, nice and easy day today, says Mr. TPHI. Excellent. The Boise is here for 35 streams in a row. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. After I've seen you driving last night, wait, what's Steiny? I'm a great driver. I'll drive the follow car. Light Bison is here. Good day to you, sir. Commander Balosh is here. Welcome aboard. Keeping well is an understatement. Britain. Brilliant. Jolly God, good to see you. Mrs. TPHI must be a bat. The only species resting upside down, and she flies like only Batwoman can. Yeah. In actual fact, she's Batwoman. Batman, Batgirl, or Batwoman. That's kind of strange, isn't it? I mean, he's not called Superboy. Where did they get Supergirl from? Why wasn't it called Superwoman? It wouldn't have fitted on the jersey. Yeah, that's what it was. How do we get onto this? Talking of Skoda, says Mugan. Why is... Oh, Jesus. Jesus. I'm not even reading it out. You're going to get me in trouble. Cyrus, good to see you, buddy. Happy Wednesday. Right now, Jesus, we're in all sorts of trouble here, look. Have you broken your hat, Murph? No, it's behind me. Look, it's up there. There. I've two of them. Old veteran 965 Scott is in the chat. Good day to you, sir. Hope all is well. All the honeydews getting in the way. Indeed, honeydews. Right, brilliant. Right, you mentioned birds on the car, so there are flies out here called love bugs, and they're renowned for making a mess. Really? Jesus. Murph, do you wear sunglasses whilst driving? I do, all the time. Why? Have I a bit of a tan? Right. Doesn't Ireland have that weird zombie fungus that affects spiders? Huh? Does it? Flyboy, thank you very much. Jesus, look, 2,000 bits to remove the deposits from the creatures we share the skies with. Oh, you're very kind. I'm going to get a Claymore mine. Brilliant, that'll solve it. The True Demon, good to see you, buddy. Did my first approach successfully in a 738 today. Ooh, nice. Good man yourself. Naughty Gnome is here. Hello from the beach. You're on the beach. What beach? Fierce Wolf, good day to you. Thank you very much indeed for 57 months. Naughty Gnome, are you somewhere exotic? Were you serious about going somewhere very nice? Fierce Wolf, thank you very much indeed, buddy, for 57 months. Terribly fierce and wolfy. Very kind. Very kind. Flying Tonight is here. Good to see you. In a box, man. He's in a box, man. Good to see you, buddy. Now, let me see. We're nearly there, look. We've buttons over here, look. Let me see. Kieran Nile is here. Good evening. Tim Waters, welcome aboard. Black Sheep Jean is in the house. He says, good day. Arrived today my replacement for the Stream Deck, my Octavi IFR1. I can't wait to go home tonight and connect it and try it out. Ooh. Jean, take pictures and send them. That sounds deadly. Angels15 is here. Good evening. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Right, now, we're over here. I would wear sunglasses as well if I drove a Skoda. You just don't know who you might... You just don't know who might spot you. The shame. Well, Eamon, now. Right. I mean, that was a good one. That was a good one. You're in Barbados. Nottingham is in Barbados. What do you call this? Why aren't we there? We should all be there in Barbados. Put us in your top pocket. Just walk around for a while. We can all see, you know. Right. What's this now? Jesus, there's buttons all over the place. Matt Lode is in the house. Welcome in, lads. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you had a great stream. We're just about to kick off where you have to listen to a mad Irish fella talk all sorts for the next 2 hours. But we do have some cool stuff. We're going to be checking out this week's Flight Sim news, all about Sim Update 5, World Update 21. We've got a chopper to check out, the Mi-2 Hoplite. And we also have some fancy hardware, which is living on this screen. Ooh, and he said, this is the Rosefire, the A107 Max overhead panel. We're going to be taking it through its paces tonight and get a closer look. Because I got to say, I mean, it's all about overhead panels now, isn't it? I mean, we know that Wing Control are bringing theirs out. Years ago, you had to spend like ridiculous money to get one, and then Rosefire came out, and there's a few others in it. Wingflex, the other, like, you have a lot of options now. So this one we're going to check out tonight. Do you know, Matt, thank you very, very much indeed for the raid, and welcome in, lads. Hope you had a great stream, and you're very welcome. I was trying to pronounce something there that Crafty said. Giblula Attenbordi. Wait, it's a fungus that hijacks arachnids and forces them to crawl out into the open, so it can then better spread to other hosts. It was first observed in a dead spider in Northern Ireland. This is like The Last of Us kind of Crafty, is it? The Last of Us, right? Good luck, lads. The apocalypse is nigh. We're gone. Jesus. And to make matters worse, Naughty Gnome is in Barbados. Jesus. Cracker, good to see you, buddy. Right, you don't have to wear sunglasses if you don't drive a Skoda. Wait, what? It's okay, Murph. I wear a hat and glasses when I drive a RAV4. Listen, discovery and naming Guy Bula Attenbordi was first observed in 2021 in caves and abandoned structures across Ireland and Northern Ireland, including an old gunpowder store at Castle Espy. Researchers identified it on a cave-dwelling orb spiders, primarily the Metlina Meridiant. Why did a whole load of Latin fellas have to... Well, they weren't Latin, Europeans, but they spoke Latin. You know, Spiderus Maximus scaring the shitus. That right, Latin. Anyway, the fungus was named in honour of Sir David Attenborough, recognising his contributions to natural history and the BBC Winter Watch series. Credit to co-pilot. Well done, Crafty. Jesus. It's a nice new mod for the sim. Oh, I don't know. Eddie, good to see you. Does that include the Murph Cave? No. Murph, no, I'm not going to take... Wait, Murph, are you going to make me want to spend more money with that Rosefire? Maybe. We'll be checking out the panel here now in a moment. So anyway, right, that's it, lads. We're all in now. Welcome in. Introduction's done. Let's come over here to a different screen and I'll talk even more. Buttons here and there. Sir David Attenborough turns 100 years old in 2 days. He does. He's joining the same. He'll get a letter from the king, I'm sure. Don't they do? They do that in Ireland. They send people a letter from the president when they're 100. Muse fan has 6 of them. Anyway, we're here at the Hoplite. Did Muse even burst in the door? He's going to be like an old devil screaming at me now. Right, so we've a bit of stuff to check out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And this is one of them. Right here. This is the Mi-2 Hoplite, right? Just trying to get the weather right so we can actually... There we go. This is an aircraft that was released from Digital Aeronautics, and we do have sounds. And it says specifically it's a 2020 aircraft add-on. However, Avangel took it for a spin, and I saw QA Pilot take it for a spin, and I'm sure you guys told me no more if it actually works. So we're going to have a look at it tonight in a bit more detail. For the rotary heads, this is definitely something you'd want to be looking at this. This is a very interesting development from a developer who's new to Flight Sim. So we'll be checking that one out in a little while, right? But before we get to all of that, we have the news. And the news tonight brought to us, big shout out to Vasco over at MSFS and to Callum and all the lads over at FS Elite. So we start off at the very beginning. And I said we're going to be covering the updates from Sim Update 5 and we're going to be covering the World Update 21. So there's quite a bit to go through here. So we'll see how we get on, right? Let me see here now. Turning 100 makes him too old for Lego. I saw that. I'm also waiting for the wind control overhead panel. Yes. Did you know they made a new Skoda with 2 exhaust pipes so you can use it as a wheelbarrow? Jesus. Oh, that's terrible. The wife makes me hand over all my credit cards before I can watch her stream, Murphy. Luckily, she doesn't know about my PayPal account yet. Yes, PayPal. Keep it safe, Heisenberg. Corn Wolf, good to see you, buddy. Further is in the house. Welcome aboard. Right, so our first bit of news tonight, it comes from Builds. The Tristar has been updated to version 1.0.5, which brings the stick shaker, pressurization fixes, and also a growing post-launch feature list. Now, the L1011 Tristar, we started a kind of training program on this 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow, we're actually doing our second part of it, where we just want to learn the aircraft. We just want to spend time kind of, you know, I like to say it's the boring stuff because it's heavily influenced by the manuals and whatnot. But I think it's really where you can start to appreciate the work that Builds or INI Builds developing this aircraft, because it's frightening, the accuracy, right? Frightening. So we're going to be checking out more of that tomorrow. But in the meantime, the new version has been pushed. So they've brought on quite a development trajectory since its March launch. Version 1.05 now live. The update cadence that has characterized this release continues. Targeted fixes, genuine system improvements, and a growing list of features that weren't there on day one. So, what are we looking at here? Well, the headline fix this time is the stick shaker. It now activates correctly and triggers the corresponding co-pilot vibration animation, or cockpit vibration. Co-pilot, quick, the stick shaker. Right. Automatic go-around behavior has also been corrected, as has the toga logic more broadly. 2 areas that can make or break a realistic approach or approach to missed approach workflows. On the pressurization side, the cabin pressure system was previously setting cabin altitude almost instantly regardless of the rate setting. That's now resolved, and a separate bug that caused the pressure control panel to randomly fault during climb has also been solved as well. The cabin temperature system also gets some attention. It now correctly responds to the external AC cart, which matters for anyone who flies cold and dark procedures to the letter. The INS continues to receive refinement. Remote waypoint loading was broken. It's now fixed. And the post-flight accuracy check, something the real L1011 crews used to assess navigation drift over long sectors, is now working. Right? Stop vibrating your co-pilot. Yes, naughty gnome, yes. A handful of cockpit annunciator bugs have also been cleared up. The alt alert light was flashing when it shouldn't. The ILS deviation light was misbehaving during taxi. And also the decision height light was triggered incorrectly when the radio altimeter came alive. These are a lot more of the smaller details, but they do add up, and a lot of work has been pushed into this latest update. On the PMS, the climb speed logic and bottom of... That's not how you pronounce that. Bottom of descent, isn't that right? Limits input have been corrected, and also the IAS to MAC transition during climb is now handled properly. The ground proximity warning system mode 1 and 5 alerts, which were previously silent, are now restored. But that's not all. They've also added stuff. INI Builds also took the opportunity with the update to document how much the Tristar has grown since its release. The paper flight bag has been significantly expanded and now features an en route map with SimBrief route overlay and live aircraft track, a rudder and tiller control option, and a sync function on the landing performance card. The INS has gained remote waypoint entry and with synced input across units, independent route drawing on the map display, and also the autopilot control via the INS 3. System-wise, a full fuel jettison system with visual effects has been added, along with the brake temperature simulation on the flight engineer panel, and also the we have a subtle parameter variance across N1, TGT and EPR to give each engine a slightly less perfect feel. TCAS now includes test capabilities and radar altitude audio alerts. Engine startup smoke is in there too, and a small touch, but it does make the L ground operations look a bit better. Takeoff and landing data card has been added to the captain's side, which INI Builds say gives quick access to key performance data during the critical phases of flight. So INI say that the development is continuing, with a few items already teased. PFP pause at top of descent, progressive aircraft loading, and also direct SimBrief import into INS 3 are among the features mentioned in the pipeline. So if you do have the Tristar, make sure you grab an update. This has been coming thick and fast from I&I Builds, I gotta say. And it's just, like, this is a class act, this aircraft. This is a magnificent aircraft. So some of the changes, we can see them here, and will disappear me for the moment so you can see them. So the takeoff and landing card added on the captain's side. TCAS test. I mean, it's just, it's such an awesome aircraft. It's so unique. And look at the details there, look. State of it. Isn't it savage? Absolutely savage. They've done great work here. So we're going to be spending a bit of time with this tomorrow. As I said, as we continue to learn its systems, we had a bit of a blast with this 2 weeks ago, just to kind of see, you know, can it work, you know? But yeah. True Demon says, here you calling it I&I Builds sounds odd to me, but that's their official name. They go by I&I Builds. It's I&I Builds, but we just have a habit of calling it, saying any Builds. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to just sinking my teeth into this. The first kind of lesson we did, I learned so much about it, and I'm still kind of confused when it comes to the lead air system. You know, so we'll have to see what happens there. Our plan tomorrow is take it from cold and dark, start it up, taxi out, take off, fly somewhere, land it a couple of times. That's the plan, right? So we'll see what happens. So great news there from I&I Builds. Now moving on, the local legend number 24 is the CAC Boomerang. This is Australia's only homegrown fighter, and it's now available in Microsoft Flight Sim. There is something fitting about a fighter designed and built in Australia, arriving on the same day as World Update 21. The CAC Boomerang, now available as Local Legend 24. You can pick it up, you can rent it for free, or you can buy it. It's like $14.99, right? It holds a genuinely unique place in aviation history. It's the only combat aircraft ever to have been completely designed and manufactured by an Australian company. And I gotta say, it's a beautiful looking machine. A fighter built in 16 weeks. The story behind the Boomerang is worth knowing before you even go start the engine. When World War II broke out, Australia found itself urgently short of combat-capable aircraft. The Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation, CAC, which had been producing the Wirraway trainer since the late 1930s, was tasked with building something that could actually fight. Using the Wirraway as a structural starting point, they delivered the first operational Boomerang just over 16 weeks after formal government approval. By any measure, that is a remarkable turnaround. We have a trailer, we'll check it out. Boomerang made its first flight on May 29th, 1942, and its first combat was seen a year later in 1943. When two of the fighters intercepted 3 Japanese bombers and forced them to break off their mission. A total of 250 of these aircraft were built during a production that ran from 1942 to 1945. So we'll have an early gawk at this one, boys. I'm sure we can play this music. Microsoft won't give out to me here for the owl copyright. Sure they won't. Holy pixels! What happened there? Auto. Let's play this back. Did you see the pixels? Now, this aircraft, it reminds me of a mix between a P-40, a Spartan, right? And you might say, well, and also a Texan. I think it is absolutely savage. I had a quick run in this earlier on just to see how it was. It killed me twice on takeoff. A good... on me hand, did you hear it? A good sign that an aircraft is worthy if it tries to kill you. And it looks great and sounds great. So we'll be flying this probably next week, and we'll cover it more next week on the news. But yeah, it's a bit like a Texan, isn't it? Especially with the undercarriage. It's class looking, and to get the history of this now is awesome as well. So the aircraft, it's powered by a 14-cylinder Pratt & Whitney or 1830 twin Wasp radial engine, producing 1,200 horsepower, driving a Hamilton standard 3-blade constant speed prop. It has a maximum speed of over 300 miles an hour, a service ceiling of 29,000 feet, and it can climb at just under 3,000 feet a minute. The armament fit included 2 autocannons and 4 machine guns, plus provision for bombs and smoke markers for target designation work. That close air support and target marking role was where the Boomerang made its real mark operationally, even if its performance numbers place it below the frontline fighters of the era. The airframe itself features an aluminum and wood construction, sliding canopy with ballistic reinforcement, and a retractable undercarriage. It is a compact machine just over 25 feet long and 36-foot wingspan. Local Legend is available right now in the in-game marketplace, and I&I Builds, the developer behind this, a handful of the real aircraft remain in airworthy condition to this day, which makes it a less obscure subject than some of the other local legends, but there is no shortage of Australian scenery to put it over now that World Update 21 is out. So that's an aircraft you can pick up. I'm going to probably have a closer look at this next week. My initial thoughts are it's beautiful. I need to figure out why it's trying to kill me on takeoff. You have a tail wheel lock. There's quite a bit going on with it. You have a tail wheel lock. You can change some of the avionics around, and the trim settings are vital. Yeah, right. But anyway, we'll do more. Now, this is interesting. Airplane Heaven, they're sharing the first interior work in progress shots of its upcoming Boeing B-17F, the Memphis Belle. There's a certain kind of flight sim project that makes it kind of, ooh, hang on, we need to read this. And that has to be that of the Boeing B-17, the Flying Fortress. It's one of those aircraft, and Airplane Heaven knows they've now given us our most detailed look at their work in progress so far. Now, this is specifically the B-17F model. We already have a B-17 from Microprose, and that's the B-17G, I think. This, of course, the famous Memphis Belle, right? Airplane Heaven have been working on this for quite some time. The developer had been hinting at a B-17 project for several months before confirming it. Today's batch of work in progress screenshots, well, it's something else entirely. It's a proper interior tour of the aircraft, from the radio operator's compartment and bomb bay through the waist gun positions and ball turret, all the way into the nose where the navigator and bombardier work. What makes this reveal stand out, it isn't just the subject matter, it's the scope. Airplane Heaven say every station will be fully modelled and detailed out, and you'll be able to enter through the crew hatch and travel right through the aircraft to the tail gun position. We do have some lovely pictures here, but I can't enlarge them, so we'll just have to look at them and go, ooh, ah. I will say, this is pretty cool looking. Airplane Heaven do really nice modelling. I think they've been on a high lately. I mean, their last number of releases have been very, very good in the sim, and this looks to be no different. I mean, we saw the Lancaster, we saw the Mosquito, we saw the B-25. They've done some really good aircraft very recently, and this one seems to be following the same. It looks absolutely class. Absolutely class. The screenshots support that ambition, with the radio operator station packed with period-accurate equipment. The bomb bay show racks of loaded bombs and what appears to be a period-correct stenciling and weathering, and the waist gun positions are shown both in gun stowed configuration and with crews placed on the 50 cal mounts. Airplane Heaven included a nice historical note alongside the images. The waist gunners in the B-17F, unlike the later G model, where the windows were staggered, often got in each other's way during combat. The crews apparently called it dancing cheek to cheek. The G model addressed this with offset gun positions, and the developer is clearly looking at the history of this. You can kind of see it here, look. Ooh and ah. What do you think of it, lads? It does look very nice, doesn't it? Hey, Hecla, good to see you, buddy. Is there anyone doing the English Electric Lightning? I read somewhere, yes, there is. I just can't remember who. Interesting. This looks very, very good. And, like, real competition to the Microprose project, I think. But we'll have to look at the detail. We'll have to wait and see. I do love the work that Microprose done on their aircraft. So this certainly looks like, especially after the last update. The update before the last one wasn't great. The latest update was brilliant. I know someone who restored the real Memphis Belle. No way. What's the one that flies in Duxford? Does she have? She just has the paintwork of Memphis Belle, isn't it? So from the cockpit shots, the instrument panel deeply layered, 4 throttle labels T1 through T4, mixture and supercharger controls, and what appears to be a reference card mounted on the pedestal. The images show a level of interior detail quite impressive for a work in progress reveal. And one can only hope Airplane Heaven treats this as a flagship project, especially now that we know that they work a lot with Echo 19, you know, Sally B. So yeah, the Microprose B-17G, that is a great airplane, but it'd be interesting to see what Airplane Heaven managed with this one. It does look pretty nice, I will say that. Looks very, very nice. DC Design says someone was doing an English Electric Lightning. They didn't say who. Yeah, I remember that, Stu. Yeah, there is one making it. Flyboy Dyer, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, Sally B is the one in Duxford. Right, moving on. Flight Effects sharing their first avionics work-in-progress shots of their upcoming Bombardier Challenger, the 350, which is in development for Microsoft Flight Sim. Flight Effects have shared the first work-in-progress shots of the avionics of their Bombardier Challenger 350, confirming the development on the front is moving again. The update came directly on their Discord, where developer Nick shared the screenshots. Flight Effects first hinted at the Challenger back in 2024 with some raw scanner images on the interior cabin. We got to show that one. And then we saw a batch of visuals focused on the cabin and cockpit model. The screenshot shows a Collins Proline 21 advanced glass cockpit, the real-world system fitted to the Challenger, with multiple large displays, a weather radar page, and full colour precip rendering FMS and system data across the panel. Nick is clear that nothing here is final, including the 3D model or the avionics themselves, but the direction is very visible of what they're working on. Ooh. So a Challenger 350, a little bit smaller, of course, than the Owl Reliable 650 that we have in X-Plane. Yeah, they got some good work going on there. It's important to note as well, like Flight Effects, they're one of the first-party developers to actually release their add-ons over on PlayStation. Coronado got in there with a handful as well. Interesting stuff. The Proline 21 Advanced is a capable and complex avionics suite, and Flight Effects describing implementing it as not so straightforward, given how they handled the custom Honeywell Primus 2000 on their Citation X. That's a promising sign for the level of depth that they're aiming for. No release date yet. The developer says as much directly as always. We'll keep an eye on further updates. But yeah, it's business jets seem to be kind of the main theme this year, and there's a lot of work with business jets this year. We're waiting on another Sovereign, we're waiting on the Phenom, we're waiting on the Learjet 45. We got a lot of options coming down the road, so yeah, very, very looking forward to having more business jets in the sim for sure. Now, Flight Simware, they've shut off their Lancair Legacy Starhawk, the development of it in Flight Sim 2024. The Lancair Legacy shaping up to be one of the more interesting parallel development stories in the sim world this year. Two developers, two very different approaches, one famously fast composite kit plane. FlySimware have been working on their version since we reported it, MSFS back in 2023, making them the original name attached to the project. It was only in February of this year that A2A Simulations entered the picture with their own AccuSim Legacy RG550, creating an unexpected head-to-head. Now, FlySimware have dropped their first sneak peek video, and well, it's worth seeing to see what they're doing. The aircraft is the Starhawk November 321 Tango Foxtrot, and it's a project that's been in the works for some time. Since the 2023 announcement, the project stayed relatively quiet while other FlySimware aircraft moved forward, including that of the Sierra C-24. According to FlySimware, the project was developed in direct input from Starhawk's real-world owner, a pilot, builder, and aerospace engineer who helped guide the simulation toward accuracy. So, introducing True Sim. The headline here isn't just the airframe, but it's the new system making its debut alongside it. FlySimware is using the Lancair Legacy as the launch vehicle for True Sim. described as an advanced maintenance and wear simulation framework. The idea is that the aircraft doesn't stay in pristine condition. Systems degrade over time, dirt accumulates dynamically based on the environmental conditions, and engine health, magnetos, oil levels, tyre pressure, hydraulics, and oxygen levels are all tracked through a dedicated maintenance page. Definitely shares philosophical ground with A2A's AccuSim. The sneak peek video also shows a deep level of ground interactivity. Pre-flight walk-around, including checks of control surfaces, chocks, pitot covers and engine plugs, and the engine nacelle can also be removed to inspect the internal components. Shall we have a look? Now, I don't know what we're at in terms of music or sound. We'll have a look. Lancair Legacy. It seems to be just kind of a walk and talk of the aircraft. Let's have a now look as we're watching, and I'll play some nice kind of background music that might fit the old mood a little bit. Do you know what I mean? In here, Murph. Oh, jeez, look at that. Ooh, look at the tablet. Tire pressure, hydraulic reservoir, bulb life, brake pad life, oxygen pressure, strut pressure. Ooh. Mud on the body, tires, dust, regular dirt, insects, runway tar, oil leak. No way. Tamal is here, good to see you. Have you seen Teog's stream on the Dauphin? I didn't see his stream, but I know he's working. I saw him with the Irish Air Corps livery. Can't wait for that one, man. This is going to be interesting. That is pretty cool, isn't it? I like that tablet. I like the I like seeing all this kind of stuff. I don't know how good it is to like use the native walk around for this though. I just find it too janky. You know what I mean? SK Sun is here, good to see you. Gotta say, it looks pretty cool. I will say this though, like, it's great to see them move in this direction. Like A2A, AccuSim, I mean, that's doing everything. That's the living, breathing aircraft, including how it handles and all the jazz. But this definitely, look, this is a great step forward from FlightSimware. And like this, this tablet integration, showing you everything that's going on. I mean, it's a nice looking plane, the Lancair, isn't it? Yeah, she a nice little plane, this. So this one, True Sim, it looks very interesting, I gotta say. Looks very interesting. So 3 variants confirmed. They confirmed 3 configurations: a naturally aspirated Lancair Legacy, turbocharged version, and also the Starhawk variant with a full glass cockpit. Includes both support for both the PMS and TDS 750 units. And they also confirmed to feature a full real-world electrical architecture and circuit fidelity. 2 Lancairs, 2 philosophies. The obvious conversation here is the head-to-head. Both FlightSimware and A2A working from real aircraft. Both are targeting the same corner of the GA market. A2A's version carries the full weight of AccuSim 2.0. That's what we had with the Comanche and, of course, the Aerostar. FlightSimware brings a long history with fast aircraft on their own, and TrueSim is clearly their answer to the persistence question. That looks pretty cool. I gotta say, lads, that looks pretty cool. Where is this now? Where's this now? Nobody knows. It hasn't been announced yet. What? What hasn't been announced? DC Design says, oh yeah. Say nothing. It'll be grand. Doubt he'll break the NDA for you. Yeah. Talking about the English English Electric Lightning. Yes. Yeah, the Dauphin from Teog's hangar. I'm so looking forward to that one. This looks, I'm intrigued by this. True Sim. Now, if it's like, okay, look, it'll be developed for that aircraft, but like True Sim, AccuSim, it's interesting, isn't it? Jolly God, right? Absolutely. Now, moving on, Just Flight, to give us an update on their Fokker F70 and 100, it's entering its final stage of testing. It was great news. Some aircraft in the sim that carry weight beyond the cockpit, and for a lot of Dutch aviation fans, the Fokker 70 and 100 are exactly that. Both types are built in the Netherlands, flew proudly by KLM, City Hopper and dozens of other carriers across the world, and are now largely retired from the skies. Fond memories from yours truly as well. The F100 was the very first commercial aircraft that Vasco flew in. Jesus, Vasco flew in an F100. It's well known that Just Flight have been working on bringing both variants into the sim, and the project now, the most recent coverage, is detailing a significant milestone. Just Flight had scrapped its first VNAV implementation and they rebuilt it from scratch. Move to today, Just Flight said it kept its head down. A tentative internal release window was set, but not yet announced. From active development to completing the operations side and EFB manuals. The headline from a system standpoint is the completion of a fully recoded AFCAS profile logic. For those less familiar with the Fokkers, the automatic flight control and augmentation system is the aircraft's autopilot and flight director architecture, and profile mode is how it manages vertical navigation on a filed route. Just Flight say that the aircraft can now fly in profile mode from 35 feet after takeoff all the way down to approach minimums, correctly respecting altitude and speed constraints while keeping close to the computed vertical profile. If a descent path is too steep or a discontinuity exists in the flight plan, the system generates alerts on the PFD and CDU. Ooh, that's no small thing. The AFCAS and FMS were identified as the two most complex and interconnected parts of the aircraft, and the reason a release date couldn't be committed to. Getting profile mode working correctly from 35 feet to minimums with auto throttle and FMS in sync was the problem the team had been grinding on for months. This update suggests the work is now done, and at last, or at least to the point where a final beta build has gone out to testers. That beta build is now in the hands of the testing team, who Just Flight say are flying the aircraft across a wide range of routes and trying to break it in as many ways as possible. The team admits only some bug fixing and polishing remain before a release date can be announced. Beyond the systems, the update covers several additional areas. The braking system has received what Just Flight describes as a mini overhaul. Braking effectiveness for both manual and auto brake has been tuned against figures from the real aircraft's documentation and calibrated against the EFB's performance calculator, which was first described back in March. The brake temperature model has also been updated to more accurately reflect heat generated during braking. Cockpit artwork has been significantly reworked too. A full ambient occlusion rebake has been applied with colour corrections across the entire cockpit. The FMP knobs now show a slightly yellowed tint from UV exposure over time, and dirt and dust have been added to the panels based on newly sourced reference photography. The philosophy is consistent with what Just Flight have done across its other professional series aircraft. Clean, fresh from the factory aircraft are just not their thing. Ooh. This would be interesting. Careful how you pronounce that name, right? Right, Just Flight confirmed that a launch hasn't confirmed a launch date yet, but with documentation work already underway, the final beta build and testing, it is reasonable to expect an announcement in the not-so-distant future. This is huge news. Huge news. One of the most anticipated aircraft this year is the Just Flight Fokkers. So, yeah. I need some Murph after today's day. Foxfly, good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much indeed for 8 months. You absolute pure ledge. Hope you're well, buddy. And sure, listen, crack open an old tasty beverage now. And sure, listen, we'll stay going. But you're very welcome in. And thank you very much for 8 months. My dude. Great to see you. Saving something to put out for Expo. I hope so, Scott. Like, what we saw last year and the year before, a lot of developers kind of pushed their news out before the Expo. So I don't know what will happen, you know. Red Bull, good to see you. I was looking at getting the FS Labs A321. Anyone think it's worth it? It is very good. The A321, it's very good. It's not cheap, though. A lot of people are holding out for Phoenix, you know, with their Neos. But anyway, now, Rhodium Code's first A350 trailer has now been released, and it shows a project mid-construction with plenty still to do. Back in April, this developer surprised the community saying that they had their own A350 project, and we covered that, and we've been following this pretty much ever since. Then came a more detailed update that went deeper on the technical approach, including a custom systems core and near-complete cockpit. Now we have another piece of evidence that the team is working on. It's the cinematic trailer premiere. We'll have a look at this here now. There are moments here that look genuinely promising and suggest that the team knows that the aircraft, what it is, and they're building something quite serious. The GE, how do you pronounce that now? General Electric NX, GE NX engines, the curved scimitar wings or winglets, and also the landing gear assembly all get attention. So we've a trailer here to show you. I probably can't play the music on this one though, Maestro. Yep. We'll wish that and do one of these and one of those. Bit of tunage. I gotta say, it does look mightily impressive, doesn't it? Very stiff competition is right with the Builds A350, but this looks, the livery is fantastic, I think, isn't it? Very pretty livery. And yeah, man, this looks very impressive, I gotta say. Not mad on the you know, pilot and co-pilot avatars. Like, I don't know, it just looks weird. But yeah, I mean, it certainly looks good. Quite a good bit of systems depth on this as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this one goes, lads. But very interesting. It is very much a work in progress. The pilot and co-pilot models are probably the most jarring element. They look absolutely shocking. Looking noticeably under development compared to the surrounding cockpit. But beyond that, some textures and geometry don't hold up as well under scrutiny. For a cinematic reveal, which we expect to be a polished view of the product status, those rough edges do stand out. They don't necessarily mean that that's the, you know, the final kind of product, but it does reinforce what Rhodium Code themselves has said all along. There is a lot of work still ahead. Where things stand, the trailer doesn't offer anything new on a timeline or release plans, which is consistent. The studio remains unproven, the product remains a long way from release, and the A350 space already occupied by the Builds A350. However, it is interesting to see another project come to life. It looks very good. The A350, it's a gorgeous airline. Gorgeous, do you know? So it does look pretty good. Red Barman, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So moving on, Microsoft is giving away the Fokker F7 for free this week to celebrate the release of World Update 21. If you ever had any interest in vintage aircraft and somehow missed picking up the Fokker F7, well, this is your week. Microsoft has made Local Legend number 2 available for free in the Microsoft Flight Sim in-game marketplace from yesterday, and you can get it for free now for a week, so just grab it, lads. as a nod to Australia's aviation history. The connection runs deeper than just releasing both things on the same day. In June 1928, Sir Charles Kingsford Smith and his crew flew a Fokker F7 named the Southern Cross from Oakland, California to Brisbane, completing the first ever trans-Pacific flight from the United States to Australia. The crossing took 83 hours, 38 minutes across 3 legs via Hawaii and Fiji. 83 hours. 3 months later, Kingsford Smith flew the same aircraft across the Tasman Sea, completing the first crossing between Australia and New Zealand and back. The Southern Cross is now preserved in Brisbane, and Kingsford Smith remains one of the most celebrated figures in Australian aviation history. The Fokker F7 itself has been part of Microsoft Flight Sim since World Update 7, when it arrived as the second local legend. Developed at the time by Orbex, it includes the Southern Cross livery as part of the package, which makes flying it across the new Australian photogrammetry added will be particularly satisfying. Right, the free window is short. Head to the in-game marketplace and grab it in there before the 12th of May. And once you put it in your account, it's yours forever. So we'll have a look at this as well for the crack, will we? We'll go over to the tube of you. Get in there now, and we'll have a gawk. We should be able to play the music on this one. Let's have a look. That's awesome. Like, put it this way, lads. Consider the flight of the Bremen, right? The first east to west crossing that you know we cover. Could you imagine going across the Pacific in this thing? Okay, they had a couple of stops along the way, but like, Jesus, whatever about the States out to Hawaii, that in itself would have been like, that's a challenge. But from Hawaii down to Fiji and then Fiji, like, that's huge. Nothing what we have today in terms of, you know, radio navigation, instrument, none of that existed. Even radios, nothing like that back then. And this is in the same timeline. So that's pretty awesome. And to see now that we now have this aircraft, I don't know, has it received a lot of work? Because I said originally the aircraft was released by Orbex. And I got to say, when I first flew this, it was kind of meh. It was all right. It looked nice, but it was kind of meh. So it'll be interesting to see now, you know, because Sobo own it. So whoever, maybe Builds did some work in it. So we'll have to check it out. Builds own it now. Yeah, I was thinking that. So I imagine the aircraft is just better, you know. So we'll have to take it out for the jolly one of the days. It's a beautiful aircraft. You can kind of see that tri-motor. You can see where other aircraft kind of got its lineage from. And also when you look at the wing, crazy. Absolutely crazy. But it's beautiful. Northland Air, good to see you, buddy. West Coast to Hawaii is still like a 6-hour in an airliner. Yeah, that's what I mean, Malky. Like, the flight they did from the United States, you know, out to Hawaii, I mean, that's got to be similar to crossing the freaking Atlantic, right? Crazy. Filthy good to see it. And then, you know, from Hawaii down to Fiji, over the Pacific, and all the weather you get down there. Like, that was unbelievable. Absolutely brilliant. So, lads, that aircraft is for free. Go into your marketplace, make sure you grab it. It's free. Make sure you do so before the 12th. and then you'll own it forever. Aviation history. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Now, here's a great segue into our segue over to Flight Sim Tees, because, ladies and gentlemen, Gibbo has been flat out adding new designs to the t-shirts. And, well, what I like to do on these, well, I want to show you what Gibbo is working on, because the man has style and taste. So, up on the top of the screen for you, if you do want to buy yourself a t-shirt coming into the summer months, right? You want to look all cool and all the jazz. Did we have to pay for it in 2020? Actually, Muse fan, I don't think we did. Oh no, we did. We did. I think we did. Anyway, use this code above. It'll save you 10% if you want to buy from flightsimtees.com. The t-shirt I'm wearing today, and all the t-shirts I wear, and they do hats and hoodies and zuddies. It's top quality gear. It just is. Some of the new designs. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. You can see them here. They're aviation based clothing. That's the idea, right? And what else do we have here? Fly it like you stole it. We also have an F-22 Raptor. These would have sold like hotcakes had the F-22s gone to Warbirds. There's Jerome modelling that. Very fancy. This one, I absolutely love this one. See the Cessna? See this? That's savage. Not dead, isn't it? There's Mildred. Right. Oh, that is nice. We'll need to add that to the collection. That's class looking. I do like that one now. The old Cessna Skyhawk. Right. Absolutely great stuff. So yeah, he's been flat out with the new designs. What else do we have here now? In thrust, we trust. Brilliant. That's pretty cool as well. He's got some deadly designs, hasn't he? What else do we have here now? I bet you wear that when the 172 releases. You better believe it. The sky is not my limit. It's my playground. Oh, very good. So he's added a whole new range of t-shirts, but here's what you got to watch for, right? Designs, or, you know, existing designs, well, they don't stay there forever. So if you do find a design you like, see this leaving soon? When they're gone, they're gone. So that's the way he does them, right? Because he wants them to kind of move on, and you can kind of see it as well. I mean, these are class looking, absolutely class looking. And you also have options here on some of the gear that you can customize them. So it'll say on it if they're customizable, i.e. you can put in your own name, your own airport, whatever. It's absolutely class. And yeah, we'll see what else. So that's on the t-shirts. For hoodies, these are leaving soon, which is Talk to Me Goose, and also Good Luck. We're all counting on you. So you can see it there. And you, again, lads, the stuff that's customizable, especially the airport ones, I love these. I have a Baldonnel one, and if you want to have your own and put in there, just drop me an email, say, Gibbo, can you do this one? You know what I mean? And the caps, which are a brand new line, which I have them here behind me. I have two of them. And the quality is every bit as good as you would expect them to be. Customizable, and they're absolutely gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. And my Aviator one, that's a different style of baseball cap. I look like a complete muppet. I look like, you know, Timmy out of South Park when I wear this one, you know. All right, lads, the story. Yeah, right. I look like I'm up to no good, but they're very good. Very, very good. So make sure, if you do want to pick something up, you're supporting a fellow flight sim enthusiast. Gibbo has set up all of this, but you can also get yourself 10% off. So the newest line added is that of the t-shirts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brand new designs. Your Bremen shirt should have been with you today. Oh, really? You sent me a Bremen shirt? It didn't come today, Gibbo. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, man. The Bremen one was gorgeous. So, lads, check it out. Anyone... If you're considering getting yourself this kind of an apparel and you're just not sure, just ask anyone in the chat. There's a lot of you guys who have already bought from flightsimtees.com, and all I've heard were great things. You're happy with the quality, the ship, everything. They were just brilliant. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. That one's a bit small, but they're all adjustable. They're a one size fits all, you know. But Gibbo, loving the new designs. What's your favourite out of these, lads? If I were to say, right, pick a favourite. The sky is not my limit. In thrust, we trust. The Cessna, the F-22, fly it like you stole it. Or looks like I picked the wrong week for sniffing glue. I'd have to say it's the Cessna. Creo says the Cessna. I love that. That's a class act. Love that. That's deadly. New arrival. Look at in a deadly. The Cessna. Yeah. I'm keen on the custom airport tee. Check them out. Now, lads, just again, right? It's we live in a world that unfortunately shipping and tariffs and all these things are there. So just double check everything before you commit. Just have a look, see what the shipping is going to be and all the jazz. But I gotta say, it's this is the oldest one I have. I don't know how long I have this. I have this a good while now. This is like the very first t-shirt Gibbo sent me. And like, I still have it. I wear this all the time. It's perfect. You don't lose the shape. They don't shrink in the freaking wash. They're just comfortable. Very comfortable. And coming into the summer, definitely. This is, you get the old farmer's tan, as they call it, So, yeah. Absolutely brilliant. I've ordered a hoodie, but I forgot to use the code. Oh, no. Well, you can save yourself 10% by using that code above. Saving money is a good thing. But don't feel that, you have to. I'm just saying, if you want to buy the gear, I can vouch for it because I wear it. It's very good. Everyone else in the chat who has purchased from Flight Sim Tees, I think you guys are all very happy with them. You can vouch for it. Biggest problem I had, when you were buying kind of merch and all this kind of jazz, the quality just wasn't in it. It just wasn't good enough. The size was either wrong or, it'd shrink over time, or the print would start breaking up and dissolving and all this sort of crack. Used to wreck my head. And because of that now, well, anything to do with Two-Tone Murphy, that merch is only available through flightsimtees.com. There's literally 2 designs sitting there at the moment. There's a lot more to come. We'll work on different ideas and whatnot, but you can pick them up there as well. So if anyone was interested, hey, how do we get merch? You just head on over to flightsimtees.com. You'll find it, and that's where it all is. All right? So Gibbo, absolutely deadly stuff. Yo, Ledge. And I'm loving those t-shirt designs. They are gorgeous. Do a Skoda in a scrap. No, don't do it with a Skoda. Don't do it with a Skoda. Lovely Skoda. But yeah, brilliant. Now, moving on. Dreamflight Studios have rebuilt Teterboro Airport. This is now version 2. I want to check this one out. I always enjoyed the first version of it. It doesn't need much of an introduction. Teterboro, located in northern New Jersey, minutes from Midtown Manhattan, it functions as a gateway for business and private aviation. It recorded some 75,000 private jet departures in 2025 alone. It's the kind of airport that shows up on every best BizJet scenery list. Dreamflight Studios has been its default home since 2021. Now the developer has released a version 2 that describes it as a complete ground-up rebuild rather than an update. The original version 1 drew some community criticism around performance, with users reporting stuttering in and around New York, of course, if they were using the other add-ons, which is a fair concern considering how scenery dense that part of the US is. Whether version 2 addresses those concerns directly isn't specific in the feature list, but a ground-up rebuild generally implies a fresh pass at optimization. Dreamflight say that the stated goal is to create a richer, more immersive atmosphere across the airport, and a central highlight is the inclusion of all 7 of Teterboro's FBO, each of them recreated with detail and accurate interiors, the likes of Signature, Atlantic Aviation, and Jet Aviation. For simmers flying any of the business jets, either available now or coming, having this FBO with its interiors is going to be deadly, right? The pictures. I mean, look at the absolute state. I thought these were real world. When I first saw them, I was like, wait, what? They looked absolutely class. Look at that for Signature, look. Isn't that deadly? Got Atlantic there as well. I'll pick this up and we'll go check it out next week, lads. Let me add that to my list of things I need to do and check out and stuff, right? Up there now, you devil. Where is this now? Let me see. Tomorrow. I'm streaming tomorrow. Kibbo, I might give you a shout in the morning if you're around. What am I looking for here? Oh, I need to type this in. Hang on, lads, because if I don't do this, I'll forget about it, and then I'll be like, what was I supposed to do? Let's have a look. What did 13, didn't it? Right. Teterboro V2. Add it to the list. Right, we're going to be checking that one out next week, right? Hey, Dazza T. Arab is here. Good to see you. Obviously minus his number plates. Wait, what? Just put an order in for the Cessna t-shirt. Come on, Dazza, you ledge. Right. Anyway, beyond the FBO, the developer describes advanced custom groundwork, high-fidelity pavement textures, realistic wear, and accurate markings, alongside custom static aircraft and business jet traffic, PBR materials throughout, and also night lighting. Original owners of V1 can grab V2 at 50% off, nice, at checkout. That offer runs until May 17th. Then at full price, this airport comes out at $1,731, available through Contrail. Ooh, it looks very good. Teterboro, this was the first airport in the sim that included the emergency stop platforms. You ever see them at the start and end of the runway? It's like quicksand, kind of. And just look at the photo there, look, and they look real. Jesus. Right, we'll check that out next week. Great stuff. Simulations. They bring Wisconsin's Air Wisconsin hub to Microsoft Flight Sim with Appleton International Airport. Wisconsin isn't the first place most virtual pilots would look when they're taking their North American scenery library, but Appleton International has a stronger aviation story than its size might suggest, and Simulations have now put it on the roadmap, or on the map, with a new payware rendition. Located in Greenville, Wisconsin, one of two airports in the state categorized as a small hub, and it serves as the main base of regional carrier Air Wisconsin. Major commercial airliners such as American Airlines, Delta, United, and so on operate out of here, connecting Fox City regions to hubs like Chicago, Atlanta, Minneapolis, and so on. The airport's terminal, built in 2013, was the first in the nation to achieve a net zero energy designation with a rooftop solar array. That makes Greta very, very happy. What we have here on the feature side, Simulations describes as an accurate recreation apron and taxiway layout, realistic ground textures based on real-world references, and custom renditions of hangars and surrounding facilities. The developers say that the scenery is optimized for performance and it's designed to hold up well during approach, not just on the ground. This isn't the first airport that Simulations have done for the United States, or a regional one for that matter. They previously covered that of Munster Osnabrück Airport, similarly compact European hub, which is put in there. It's available for $22.71 over on Contrail. It's another airport we're going to check out next week from Simulations. We've been following Simulations since their very first airports in the sim, all the way back in 2020. And they are that developer that when I say every new release, they get better and better and better at, be it the objects, the modeling, the PBR, they just get better and better. So this one's going to be fun to check out. Where we stayed when we were working at Oshkosh, Appleton is a great place. Oh, nice. Nice one, Scott. Yeah, we're going to check that one out next week as well. So great news there. Vertical Sim, they've announced Orlando International, Kilo Mike Charlie Oscar for Flight Sim 24. And Vertical Sim, they did push out a Florida roadmap. The latest announcement feels like an inevitable next step. The studio has been building what is arguably the most complete collection of Florida scenery with Microsoft Flight Sim, releasing such as Tampa, Southwest Florida, and St. Petersburg, Clearwater, along with Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale, all in active development. Britain is not dancing up and down at all. No, not at all. Sure, I mean, why would you? The developer confirmed the project on their Facebook page, describing it as a second active work in progress alongside that of Fort Lauderdale. KMCO, pretty much any measure, a massive undertaking. It's one of the busiest airports in the United States, handling tens of millions of passengers each year, and its fixture on a long-haul transatlantic route. The developer specifically notes the airport's appeal for those long-haul simmers across the pond and beyond. The announcement details several planned features. According to the developer, simmers can anticipate high-detail terminal modelling, including the new Terminal C expansion that is currently underway in the real world. And the developer also mentions detailed surface wear and grime across all surfaces, accurate ground layout and markings, and what they describe as the characteristic Florida vibes aesthetic that has become a recognisable part of the product lineup. Vertical Sims say they expect monthly progress updates on what they call a massive project. The inclusion of Terminal C, notably forward-thinking. The real-world expansion is a major infrastructure investment, and modelling it now suggests the team is taking a long view on accuracy and longevity for this release. Orlando International, one of those airports that comes up constantly in the community. It is a gateway to Florida's theme park corridor, a major hub for domestic routes, and also a key stop on transatlantic services from the UK, Germany and beyond. Despite that profile, quality scenery for KMCO have remained elusive in Microsoft Flight Sim. A high-fidelity vertical sim version, but natively for 2024, certainly fill the gap. Looking forward to this one. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome back, Dave. One Fly Air, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, looking forward to this one. I would love to have an Opelika airport executive, Opelika, you know, for me TBM flights, all Stevo, one Canevo. But yeah, listen, KMCO, definitely. We only flew there not too long ago, and like, you can get scenery for it, but it's kind of meh. You'd be afraid that the bridge are going to go under it, you know, as in fall through it, you know. So that's good news. UK 2000. Well, they stay in New England with Concord Municipal Airport, Kilo Charlie Oscar November for Microsoft Flight Sim. A couple of months ago, UK 2000 crossed the Atlantic to cover Portsmouth International at Pease, giving simmers a solid performance first option for the New Hampshire seacoast. They haven't gone far. The latest release stays firmly in the Granite State, and this time heading inland to cover Concord Municipal Airport, just sitting 4 miles south of the state capital. It isn't a glamorous airport, not serviced by any commercial airlines. It doesn't have a control tower. Most simmers won't be contending with, and it won't feature in any bucket list. But that's precisely what makes it interesting. It's a general aviation in the most straightforward form, a well-maintained active field with 2 runways, a full FBO, flight instruction, EMS operations, civil air patrol, and the kind of steady background traffic that makes regional GA hubs feel alive. The airport has a history stretching all the way back to the 1930s, expanding significantly through the 40s. It remained central to New Hampshire's aviation community ever since. One detail worth highlighting, the New Hampshire Army National Guard is based on the southern side of the field, and there's recently built a general aviation hangar nearby that UK 2000 has chosen to include in its scenery. Ooh, Copper Pete, thank you very much indeed for 50 months, buddy. Thank you very, very much indeed. What a ledge. Runway 17 and 35 is the main strip, 6,000 feet long, 148 feet wide. It is equipped with an ILS, amongst others, PAPI lighting and all the jazz there as well. So this thing will cover anything from a Cessna 172 all the way up to a mid-sized turboprop, and probably bigger. The approach here is the same as it was with all the other sceneries, built around the flying experience rather than ground level tourist perspectives. They don't really go into interiors or any of that jazz, but they do put a lot of detail in and around the airport, plenty of vehicles, and the night lighting is always good from UK 2000. Bit of a trailer here we can have a look at, just to give you an idea. I'll probably watch this on YouTube because I can get the quality up the road a little bit. I'll get in trouble for their music, so we'll play our own music. Something similar, Murphy. Go on, you can do it. Alright, that wasn't great though, was it? We'll play it. I will say it does look accurate, doesn't it? Like, I mean, that is one thing that UK 2000 do. They don't, and like they said, look, we're not going to be doing interiors or any of this stuff, but outside, the layout structure of the buildings, the aprons, taxiways, all that jazz, it does look very, very good. New Hampshire Army National Guard. That could be pretty cool as well. Yeah, like, it's hard to get excited for an airport that, like, you know, it's off the beaten track, but again, could be interesting. And if you're flying up this neck of the woods, New Hampshire, that's gorgeous places to go flying. Absolutely gorgeous, you know. Andy Brown, you mad devil. Jesus, Andy Brown gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Andy, thank you very much indeed, buddy. Very kind of you, sir. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub, with thanks to Andy Brown, well, do be sure to say thank you, because the man is a legend. Andy, thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Cheers, man. So, yeah, here we have it, UK 2000. So, let me see. It's available right now, $18 US. It's over on simmarket.com. That's where you can pick it up. Excessively Salty says, I love little airports and places you wouldn't normally think to go. I agree. And like, I always view these sort of airports, they're in a place I'm not familiar with, and if I find something that looks decent, I'll say, right, this is going to be my hub. I'm going to operate out of here and then just visit other areas in that region, but use this as my main base of operations. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of the ideal thing when it comes to a scenery like this. Unless, of course, you're from the area, you're going to pick it up, right? Or you've been to the area, you might pick it up. But certainly, if you're planning, you know, a bit of a trip, you're saying, "Oh, hang on, here's a nice airport. I'll add that to my flight plan." You know what I mean? And it's aimed at general aviation as well, and you probably get a business jet in there, no problem. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. So awesome stuff there from UK 2000. Now, some news. FSLTL, they have updated to version 1.9.0. It's out, it's live, and traffic injection is officially gone. This, of course, on the back of the news from Flight Radar 24, removing any sort of free tier for their data. FSLTL were utilising that, hence they were able to manage all the traffic injection. That's now finished. However, you know, they've given the update for FSLTL. 1.9 is out. They've done a bit of work over the modelling. They've removed traffic injection, but they do have static models, meaning that, you know, if you go to an airport, well, you should find the correct liveries and whatnot parked at the gates. But in terms of moving around, flying around, just not a thing anymore for FSLTL. The update, fairly straightforward, is what it does. One of the fixes they did, a livery discovery issue with AIG entries where parking codes started with a comma. And on 2024, the injector will now use simulator-specific SIM connection injection functions. The team notes it has no immediate benefit, but positions the tool for potential future updates. We hope to bring back live traffic injection in the future. That's the official stance from FSLTL. And, well, that's just where they are. I don't know if you guys were using it. I certainly used the models, right? And I just find the traffic injection with SayIntentions just, it's alive. It's more than just, Jesus, here's something else in the runway in my way. You know what I mean? Now, sticking in the same sort of vibe, AIG, they've published a roadmap which they're aiming to make the installation easier and faster. So AIG, Alpha India Group, they have their roadmap published, and basically what they're bringing to it here, they have a new base pack. For the first time, AIG will offer a new single zip download containing a full global preset. The same content currently available through the global preset option in the one-click installer. And again, AIG models can be used with the likes of SayIntentions. You can use those models and you get SayIntentions to inject them into its traffic injection. AIG, they do have their own global preset options. They're using scheduled data, so they're not affected by Flight Radar. They use their own system in terms of scheduled data where aircraft are taking off and landing from. The only thing though, those aircraft, you can't interact with them. And that's why, you know, it's nice if you want to see a couple of planes moving around or whatnot, but for any sort of realism, you're kind of limited on the base product. You can use other engines to run it. For me, I'll always go back to SayIntentions because, well, that'll inject them and interact with them and schedule them. Do you know what I mean? And schedule you with those. There's a lot of work goes into the SayIntentions one. It's more of a complete thing. Plus the scheduling that SayIntentions do, they update that multiple times a year. You know what I mean? Mr. Hoppy is here. Good to see you, buddy. Jesus, 39 months. Cheers, buddy. Very kind. Roy says Cat 3 Dual Studios recently released a scenery pack for KOPF. Oh, did they? Ooh. I need to check that out. AIG, PSXT, and Real Traffic is your go-to. Ooh, nice. Real traffic, yeah. So the other one then, of course, was from Just Flight, where they had their own as well. And again, like I use all the models, and I just let SayIntentions do the traffic injection. If you're using FSLTL, you know, vPilot can do that and use the models for them as well. You know what I mean? So it's quite good. But AIG, they put out their the roadmap. The fleet getting updated. Ground ops expansion. So traffic controller users already have ground ops for AI aircraft. They plan to extend this gradually to its own aircraft, starting with general aviation VIP services. Model updates have also been included as well. AIG, it is free, but as I say, it can do injection, it can give you the models, but it's very much you're just looking at them, if that makes sense. With something like SayIntentions, there's interaction. ATC are dealing with them. The whole thing is alive. Do you know the way? But notable update there from AIG. This is potentially massive news. Volanta. It's now available on Xbox. What? Xbox players have been asking for Volanta for a long time. The feature request has sat on Orbex's feedback board for years, and it's easy to see why. The ability to track your flights on a live map, log them automatically, and see where everyone else in the community is flying has been one of the most compelling parts of the PC experience. As of today, will console players finally get their version of it? Orbex have released Volanta for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on Xbox, marking the first time the flight tracking tool has been available on console. It's listed in the in-game marketplace for €5.59 or $4.99 USD. The PC version remains free, but Microsoft requires a minimum price for marketplace listings, which accounts for the cost on console. That's not actually true. Right. I'm just saying that's actually not true. So it's when you have developers saying, oh, we have to charge this because we're being, they're not being charged. And if I'm wrong on this, I'll say, yeah, okay, I was wrong. But the information I have, they're not charged. What, Microsoft charged them to put something on their marketplace that they want people to use? Doesn't make sense, lads. You know what I mean? So, we'll have to wait and see more. Kieran Niall, thank you very much indeed, buddy. Cheers, man. You're very kind. Yeah, it's not true at all, yeah. I wonder if that'll change the next-gen console that is similar to PC. Maybe. But yeah, this line is important. This needs to be fed back to, you know, the upper echelons because, like, my understanding, and if anyone here is involved with developers and working with the marketplace, yeah, PMDG said the same thing, and I'm telling you that it's not the case. Oh, we have to charge for these livery. No, you don't. You absolutely don't, you know? So you've heard it here from me. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. No hassle at all. Like, I'm not out to, you know, I just want to, like, this sort of crack, people saying the marketplace charges you. The words here is, you know, it's listed on the in-game marketplace. The PC version remains free, but Microsoft require a minimum price for marketplace listings, which accounts for the cost. That is incorrect, to my knowledge. And it's not Vasco's fault for writing it. That is the understanding in the general public. My understanding is that is not the case. I need to get someone on record to say, no, we don't do this. Then what will we do? Right? Jesus. I'm not sure if the developer gets charged, but there is a minimum charge that they have to charge for marketplace. Yeah, but they're going to offer it for free. They can offer it for free. You know what I mean? That's, yeah. I'll get in trouble for this now. Hang on. Anyway, moving on. Apart from the pricing, the good news is they actually got this working on the Xbox. Rather than running alongside the sim on the same machine, the Xbox version, it acts as a transmitter. You launch a flight, open the Volanta panel from the Microsoft Flight Sim toolbar, and a unique connection code appears on screen. You then head into the fly.volanta.app on a secondary device, whether that's on your phone, a tablet, or a laptop, enter the code, and your flight starts appearing live on the map. Volanta say that once the panel window is open and active, tracking continues in the background without interrupting your flight on the big screen. The feature set carries over from the PC experience, real-time map tracking across global community of simmers, not just 2024, but also that on 2020, X-Plane, DCS, and so on. An automatic flight logging aircraft, history, stats, and social features, including friends and profile customizations. This is pretty cool, right? You can't do it on your phone, and you can't do it on your phone. You need premium for that, says True Demon. I don't know. Aerosoft offered their first German airport for free. It can be done. Oh no, lads, 100%. 100%. It can be done for free. I'd be very surprised. I'd be shocked, in fact, if Microsoft say you must sell it for this price to be on Marketplace. And if they do, well, then they need a kick because, well, lad, do you want them to sell on your Marketplace? You know what I mean? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, worth noting, Volanta says the Xbox version is also compatible with Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now, but it's not currently available on the PlayStation. For Xbox players who have wanted a proper logbook and live trapping setup, this is the first real option. Not quite as frictionless as the PC version, given the two-device requirement, but the core functionality is there. This is great news. This is fantastic news for the Xbox pilots, definitely. And who knows what door this will open. But yeah, it doesn't exist on PlayStation yet. But for Xbox, this is great news, I think. Absolutely great news. Because in theory, if you can do it this way, if you can track your flight, in theory, if you can do this, you can possibly look at online network integration, FSLTL and the like. You know. But yeah, be interesting. Open the door for third-party career apps. Maybe. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, Sim Update 5, this has been a huge update. Apart from PSVR, new cert or new career cert stuff, I think it's all of this has to go down to the sheer amount of stability, bug fixing, and performance. I think that's right. Those three major areas, at least for me. For PlayStation, having a console be able to utilize virtual reality with Microsoft Flight Sim, that's insane. That's brilliant. Having the marketplace on PlayStation is great as well, right? Because now they don't just have to look at the default fleet. They'll get a taste of what these third-party developers can actually do, which is most of them do amazing work. I think for me, the changes that they've brought with Sim Update 5, yes, a couple of bugs still remain. We've experienced firsthand ourselves on our group flights. We've seen better performance and better model matching. We've had better multiplayer experiences, which is friggin' nuts considering the journey we've been on trying to get, better model matching, better multiplayer and all this kind of stuff, right? The main thing is, I've noticed, is better utilization of the GPU, at least on my system. But the GPU used to sit kind of 60, 70%, right? It's now gone up the road, 95, 96, 97%, and it stays there. That's what you want to see. I mean, that's what the hardware is designed to do. And obviously, if it starts running hot, if your temperature issues, well, sure, dial the things down. But ultimately, you want your GPU pushing, right? That's what you want. And it seems to be doing that. I haven't seen much of a change in terms of loading. I found one or two small little bugs in like the UI and the menu system. If you want to go in and change a livery, you kind of have to jump into the fuel planning. Shout out to Roy to help me there, and then go back in again. There's a couple of weirdness thrown in. They also changed a couple of settings around. They've also added new settings in, particularly when it comes to the graphics. They've made a couple of good fixes. I think overall, Sim Update 5, I said this was Sim Update 4, but like if Sim Update 5, consider this, if this was the version 1 release of 2024, I think records just would have been like exploded, because this is, I think, finally what we all expected 2024 to be. Considering it wasn't until kind of Sim Update 3 came around that people, like before Sim Update 3, people still couldn't get into the sim, right? Now that's changed. Sim Update 4 was a massive leap. Sim Update 5 has continued that massive leap. And I got to say, it's very, very good. Clive Davis says, I've seen reported elsewhere there is a minimum price for mods in the tools category. I don't know. I'll find out more on this. I'll see can we squeeze some sort of an official kind of statement, because my understanding is no. But if I'm wrong, I'll say, yeah, I'm wrong. Murph, there is a fee, if I understand this correctly, but I also could misunderstand it. Yeah, I don't know, Commander Balosh. I'll look into it more. I've been told that there isn't a fee. So, anyway. Because it was one of my, the way I like to complain about things. But anyway, so with Sim Update 5, I think the main things are, outside, as I say, the career mode and all this kind of jazz, the avionics and aircraft update, that's been delayed a little bit. They're still working on some of the aircraft. That's the Antonov, the ATR, the Latico Air, and so on, right? They'll probably follow on in a week or two, right? But it's what's going on under the hood. They have done tremendous work with... what's it called? WASM, WebAssembly. That received tons of work. The SDKs received tons of work. Aircraft have received tons of work. Lots and lots. The A400 alone, massive change has gone into that machine. Some, as I said, they're still not 100% there yet. But overall, I think Sim Update 5 has been such a strong... platform update. It's just been such a strong platform update. I think the sim has never ran as smooth. It's stable, touch wood. I haven't broken anything yet. So I like credit where credit is due. Like, I mean, the work that team has done since last November, right? 2024. They have been flat to the mat working on making this sim stable, better performance, and squashing bugs. And they're doing it. Like, they are delivering at a rate of knots here. Sim Update 5, right? Sim Update 6 and 7 also planned for this year. But I think finally now the sim has gotten itself into that area where stability is now the core. And it's from here they can start looking at new features, right? So that's the hope now. Will we start seeing new features starting to drift in now with Sim Update 6 and 7? We got a handful with Sim Update 5. But yeah, I think this is definitely the right... Like, when you look at the sim in its current build across all, right? You think of, like, the mission or lack of missions, the bush trips, that kind of stuff, right? Maybe that's where the scope to put these things back in. Other people will say, yeah, we want double jetways. I hear you. Of course you want double jetways. Look at the current jetways at airports. Look at some of the current airports. If you notice in 24, right, you go to any of these new glider airports, the general aviation ones, they're night and day better than the original 2024 ones, right? So there is scope, of course, to get all this fixed. But I think as the sim is running, for me anyway, it's been absolutely brilliant. Where is this now? Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Agree, Murph. When I first downloaded 2024 on version 4, it was a bit choppy, had a few crashes. Since Sim Update 5, much more stable. My system hard boots after 10 minutes, says Dennis. Since Sim Update 5, my system hard boots after about 10 minutes. Jesus. Dennis, any idea what it is? Is it a driver issue? Cache issue? True Demon says Sim is in a good place right now. Hugely improved. Tamal says CTD for all flights over 2 hours since Sim Update 5. Again, any idea? VRAM? Is there any report in the event manager? Already adding new stuff like the Avidyne avionics. True, very true. Mr. TBHI, after Sim Update 5, mine was running just okay. I started fiddling with my settings again. The higher I put my settings, the smoother everything became, way more stable. Andy Brown's having issues as well. Ooh. So is there any truth to what I'm reading about Asobo lowering the quality of the graphics to get rid of stutters, Murph? No. Not that I can see. I don't see that, Heisenberg. I don't see the graphics getting pushed back. There was videos put out by people saying, oh, the clouds look different. They had to delete their shader cache. They had to update their graphics card. I don't think they've dumbed it down. They did dumb down the sim in Sim Update 5 back in 2020. Definitely. They won't admit that, but it was dumbed down. But I don't think it's been dumbed down 2024. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at anything in the sim to say, that could look better. Genuinely, now if your mileage may vary, and especially lads, if anyone's having issues, it'd be a good chance here to do a bit of a, can I do that here? Look, Can I do a something? Can I press a button? Oh, jeez, I didn't even know I had that button, look. Let's see here now. Danger, Murph. Danger, danger. What's this do? Huh? Oh, look, I can do stuff down here. Let's see. Can I do it in here? No. Poll? No. I was going to say we'll start a poll. We'll do our own poll. Lads, here's one for you, right? We'll get an idea now. I want you to listen to the two headings and then you press the button, right? If your performance and experience has been improved, if it's better in Sim Update 5, I want you to press 1. If it's worse in Sim Update 5, I want you to press 2. And this will give us an idea. And what I want to do, like, we are all part of the one glorious flight simming community, right? It doesn't matter what channel you watch or who you... That doesn't matter. We're all part of the flight sim community. What I want us to try and do, anyone who ends up putting a number 2 into the chat, well, can we try and help them? Can we figure out what it is? Maybe we know certain settings work better. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's all about. We need to be helping each other because there's nothing worse. All you want to do is do a bit of flying and then the sim isn't like, there is nothing worse. So we'll try and find out. Maybe we can do something over in our Discord. Anyone who's having issues, as in real issues, as in CTDs, it's just not working. You know what I mean? Yeah, 100% Roy. Just Roy, amongst many others that we have here in our community, anyone who's struggling, we're more than happy to help, right? So we'll see what the crack is. I'm always putting number 2s in chat. That's okay, Larry. We'll let you away with it. So, yeah, okay. So, like, the vast majority, Jay, Super Tie, could you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, we've about 30 saying it's better and 7 saying it's worse, which is almost a third. Okay. Well, what I'll say, lads, mostly ones, yeah. What I'll say is,
hello there.
Check out our Discord. I'll put something in Discord, and let's try and aim it specifically to those who are struggling since Sim Update 5. I'm after losing my mouse. Here it is. If you ramble over to our Discord, I'll show you here now. Look. Now you can use. I mean, the Microsoft official forums are also brilliant. They're excellent. And a very, very helpful bunch of lads in there as well, right? But if you ramble over to our Discord, we have this area under Flight Sim. It's called Sim Help Support. You can post in what's happening, right? And we'll get back to you. Our lot are in there. We're all in there. So if we see something, we'll go in and have a look at it for you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, well, they can flag that themselves. Hardware support, window settings, is it the sim settings? So when you're putting in your post, just give it a tag so we know which one it is. These are all the different tags. Performance, software, is it 2020 or 24? So you can put a tag in, create a post, we'll go in and have a look at it, and someone will help, right? Can I post links? Not in the chat here, but you can post links in there if you need to. All right? So check out our Discord, !Discord, and we'll try and just help folks out, because it doesn't make sense to me that your PC and your sim is running fine and then all of a sudden it isn't. Something's gone wrong somewhere. It could be on the graphics side, it could be on a Windows Update side. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can do that. But anyway, don't get me wrong, graphics are brilliant, but after about 2 hours CTD, Sim Update 4 could leave it on all night doing a long distance. Yeah, 100%. Is there somewhere I can post screenshots of all my settings to anyone and use them as a guide? You can do it in there, Mr. GPHI. In the Sim Help Support. I have my settings in there. Like, when you go into that, it's a thread on Discord, right? So basically, you need to click into them, otherwise you won't see them. But my settings are in there, for example. You click into my thread, they're all my settings. Everything that I have in the sim. I think in both sims. Yeah. 24 and 2020. That was last updated only back in March. This is accurate. All my settings are in there. Reshade is in there. Everything I use is in there. Right? Poll at the top of the chat. Come on, Muse. Fair play to you. Use the Discord, lads, because when I'm not simming, I'm in there. You know, we have an amazing team of mods who are always looking at the channels. They're not just there to give out and bash, right? But don't test them. They've zero patience because they've been too patient for years. They'll see it. And the whole idea is, as a community, we can help each other to try and figure out, well, what in the name, what's going on, right? So use it. And hopefully then by next week, if you did have issues, we'll try and get back in and get them sorted for you, right? So we'll see what happens. But anyway, stability and the performance, I think with Sim Update 5, as you know, 2/3 of the folks who voted, has been a very positive thing. They also fixed that annoying thing when it came to the DLSS ×2, ×3, ×4 thing. They fixed that. And then a couple of other fixes came. Well, you can see the bug fixes. Tons of bug fixes. And they also fixed some of the model matching for the most part, you know. But yeah, I just think it's been a great update. I didn't word it very well. Is Sim Update 5 better or worse? Yes or no? Bad news. You're right. I think it's better anyway. Pieman Jim says, maybe I'm lucky. I've done 3 overnight long hauls without any problems. It's mad. And like, here's another one for you. I was having issues with VR, right? My Pimax Crystal Light worked fine. Got the Pimax Super. As soon as I clicked VR, instant CTD. Instant, no matter what I did. I tested an X-Plane, worked fine. It was Microsoft Flight Sim. So much so, I was on the blower to Pimax saying, hey, there's an issue here. All right, send it back, we'll get you sorted. Sim Update 5, I said I'll try it for the gas. Works perfectly. Perfectly. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out together. But anyway, Sim Update 5. I want to know your issues to see can we get them sorted. That's why we have communities, you know, to try and help us out. Right, moving on. The World Update. This just got released yesterday for our Australian friends, and from what I've seen thus far, unbelievable update. Unbelievable. In fact, probably the biggest world or best world update I've seen. We saw Australia being added to the sim back in 2022. With this update, they've added 40 new areas of interest, and they're not like POIs. These are areas of interest, right? Photogrammetry work was done in partnership with Bing Maps, Vexel, Gaia, and Asobo. And unlike World Update 7, which relied on Orbex for much of the custom content, this time round, Gaia Simulations have taken the lead role with handcrafted airports, delivering 6 new facilities spread across the country. The 6 new airports, we have Broken Hill in the outback New South Wales, also a base for the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Is it Lord Howe Island? Another standout one. We've Broome International, Coober Pedy Airport, the Royal Australian Air Force Base Tyndall at Catherine Tyndall Airport, and they've included Bathurst Airport. Deadly. We've flown to Bathurst many times, right? Yogi Bears, good to see you. Coverage across the 40 AOI spans major cities and major capitals and regional cities, with Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, Hobart, Darwin, Canberra all receiving updated photogrammetry, along with dozens of regional cities and suburbs. Canberra and Darwin, notably new additions that weren't part of the World Update 7 scope. Melbourne, which was highlighted during the April developer stream for its approximately 2,500 square kilometre of photogrammetry coverage, likely to be the headline visual improvement for many folks. Isn't it mad? I don't know what to vote because I've added a frame gen mod that gives me 4x on me 4060, but even before that it was fine. Ooh. Mugan, take it easy, buddy. Take it easy. Missions and activities, they've added a few of those as well, and of course we've seen the release of the Boomerang. Pretty cool. And they also gave us out the local legend, the Fokker F7. If you haven't checked out some of these areas, now if you're on 2024, you need to grab this from the marketplace. It's just free. You just click on it, you own it, that's it, right? And you don't need to worry about downloading it and auto-install it, right? Sorry, I went for a swim. The poll asks if Sim Update 4 is better or worse, and the answers are yes or no. Correct. Let's check out the trailer. I was so impressed looking at this. This is superb, lads. Superb. Man, what a trailer. What a trailer. So that's the official World Update 21. We're going to go exploring some of it on Friday night. And again, like, we've had, we had a live stream on Friday. We had another one on Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday. And every time, I've yet to see any visual degradation in the sim. That's just me. I'm not saying there isn't. I haven't seen any. So if you've seen something specifically, you know, they've dialed down the settings or they've dumbed down the settings, let me know when we go off and we look at it. Because if that's the case, for sure, you know, hey, what's going on? You know? But yeah, this is just a phenomenal update, which is World Update 21. So as I said, we're going to go exploring some of this on Friday night, and great to see Parks getting an update as well, because the POI that was at Parks Observatory was a little bit, you know. So yeah, we must go off and check that. But yeah, so World Update 21, it's officially out, and well, you're going to see lots and lots and lots of flying in Australia. So more on that a little bit later. Moving over to X-Plane news, Mango Studios sharing their ATR-72 development update. The team say recent work has focused on core systems, including the EHSI, the weather radar, and also the EADI, with the aim of accurately reflecting the real aircraft while maintaining solid performance within the sim. Alongside this, interior texturing has been progressing, although the developer notes much of the current work remains a work in progress and not representative of the final product. Now, Mango Studios, these guys have done like sounds and stuff in X-Plane for years. 2026 is their target release window for the ATR-72. There hasn't been a proper ATR in X-Plane, I think, since Aerosoft did theirs back for X-Plane 10. It's been a long time coming, this one. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they do. No release dates yet, but work is continuing very much so on the ATR. So good stuff there. Field Air, they've released or revealed new voice features introducing into Tower Sim. So the voice system uses neural AI to generate pilot responses entirely offline, meaning no internet connection is required during use. And according to the developers, this ensures that no data leaves the user's PC, removing the need for subscriptions or external processing while maintaining consistent performance. Each voice is trained using recordings from professional voice actors with full consent to provide more natural and human-like communication. The result is intended to replicate real-world pilot transmissions. In addition to voice realism, the system also introduces dynamic audio environments. Each aircraft is said to feature its own cockpit sound profile, while radio quality will degrade based on distance. Now, what they do here, Tower Simulator, it's linear so far as you load into a level, you can't go beyond that area, and then they can inject all this stuff into it. Your job starts off as an air traffic controller. So when you kind of see or hear this sort of technology coming out, thinking, geez, why can't we have that in the sim? Well, you could if it was locked down to one specific area and you kept everything quite linear. You would have X amount of arrivals, X amount of departures, and only these aircraft. Then you can do it. In Microsoft Flight Sim, the entire world is there, and it's a persistent world that's there, meaning what you see is what, well, your buddies should see, and so forth. But I think for Tower Sim, I mean, they have been really pushing upgrades for this. We saw already Orbex and Just Flight already developing add-ons for them, and now they're working on their neural AI pilot voices, which is pretty cool, I gotta say. Pretty cool. Horizon Vector, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So anyone who's used Tower Sim, rejoice, you have new voices on the way. No release date for this, but the feature is currently in active development. We'll no doubt hear more about this over at Flight Sim Expo next month. Do you know? So interesting stuff there. Now, what do we have? Over to SayIntentions now. I just want to go through some of the updates from last week. Now, I can do this in two ways. I'll do it this way. Oh, it's a widescreen. But a couple of updates here, right? What SayIntentions have been working on in the background, right? They've brought out new cabin crew and co-pilots, an absolute barrel load of them, right? Rolling out a large set of new cabin crew members and co-pilots, some 20 to 25 new personas over the next couple of days. Many are already live. You'll see them labelled with new in the list. It's part of a broader overhaul of how cabin crew and co-pilots work, and they're making them smarter, more capable, and faster across the board. Many existing personas have already been upgraded, and all of them are being revamped. Roughly 70% focused on professional and realistic operations. The rest are more on the lighter, more entertaining side. And there's a new option to preview each voice before you select it. No updates or restarts required. Just head on into your pilot portal, go to settings, and go to intercom. Savage. ATC updates. They've done more work in vectoring, IF4 work as well. And these were kind of little bug trackers that we were chasing. We had an issue yesterday. The guys addressed it already. They said, yeah, we saw that. Problem with the server. Fixed. Grand. So it's part of their weekly newsletter of this is what we're working on. Do you know? And they're also running this new campaign, Show Us Your Wow Moment. So they're looking for features, or they want to feature more of what the community are doing when they're flying with SayIntentions.ai. Submit a short clip of your best in-flight moment, anything that made you stop and think, wow. It could have great ATC interaction, a funny exchange or cabin crew moment. It could be an emergency, a smooth arrival, busy departure, pretty much anything that stood out to you. Each week, they're going to select a clip of the week, and the winner will be featured on SayIntentions' YouTube channel, community pages, and also in the newsletter. The winner receives 1 month of SayIntentions for free. The winner will be announced on May the 8th, which is 2 days' time. And then they go through what way they want the clips to be. So you can submit your clips over and you might win yourself a free month. Also, this new AI expansion pack, we spoke on this last week, is a message from Brian about it. They've been working on something they're really proud of. Every subscriber gets a free preview through May 10th, and that's of the new AI add-on. It represents the next step in what SayIntentions.ai can do, and it unlocks a level of performance and realism that just wasn't possible before at scale. So what they're doing with this add-on, they're maintaining the current premium tier. That's the full SayIntentions experience. As you know it, that's everything, right? SkyOps, Skynet, traffic injection, all of that is there, right? However, there is a demand is the wrong word. There are a lot of folks looking to get more out of the platform, and SayIntentions, right? Okay, we'll have a look at this. Let's see what we can do. And they found, okay, yes, we can bring new features in, but it's costly. It's very expensive to bring these new features in and push them across the board. So if we were to do this, well, we don't want to go back out to everyone and say, okay, guys, you wanted these new features. We have to put the subs up for everyone. The subscription prices now have to go up to facilitate this. They didn't do that. They said, okay, tell you what, we're going to let everyone try them as part of their current subscription. If you really want them, then you have the option to go and grab the new AI add-on. If you don't need it, if you don't think you're going to use it, well, then it's no skin off your nose. But for those who really want it, at least now you have a way that you can get it. What it includes: Traffic Plus, the current traffic injection system adds traffic based on real-world gate schedules at every airport. So for some airports, that data can be a little bit thin. Sometimes you just want tons and tons of traffic. Traffic Plus allows you to crank that up, and that's part of the new AI add-on. Next up is the Iris speech recognition. Significantly enhanced speech recognition means significantly faster responses, and it means ATC understands you a lot better regardless of your accent. Again, to try this out, go into your pilot portal, settings, miscellaneous, and set speech recognition to Iris. Another part of this is persistent memory, and this is huge. For the first time ever, your crew and co-pilot can now remember conversations across flights. Your preferences, routes, and stories carry over. Each AI persona has their own memory and will remember their experiences with you. Now, this is something that we had a look at before. With SkyOps, you'll often get Jenny saying, well, how are you, Murph? Yeah, our last flight was great crack. And now you keep asking, hey, can we go out for dinner? Can we go for a drink, Jenny? I go on, right? So you kind of got a feeling of it there. But now, built in with this AI add-on, there is a persistent memory there, which is pretty cool. So Brian went on to say, the SayIntentions platform, it's eye-watering expensive to operate. Again, this is using cloud computing. And rates, all that jazz, it impacts these lads something fierce. The cloud compute, the voices, everything behind the scenes adds up quickly, and it's not something that we can scale indefinitely at the base subscription. So they've built something that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible doing things that not long ago most people assumed would never exist. And while most of the subscribers are incredibly happy with what's already included as premium, some users do want to push further. More traffic, better AI, faster responses, more realism. The challenge is doing it without raising the price for everyone. So this gives us the best of both worlds. Keep delivering the core experience at the current price while offering an option for those who want to take it even further. This is genius. I gotta say, this is genius because there's nothing worse. There is nothing worse. Consider, you look at anything in Netflix. Look at friggin' Disney. All them prices go up. Game Pass did it, right? And for us, we were saying, okay, Game Pass is going up. Yeah, you're going to get all the Call of Duties, and I don't want them, right? And then they had to pull up the handbrake and say, we can't do that. I tell you what, we'll lower the price and forget about all that noise, right? But those who want all the extra stuff, well, they can. And this is a great way to do it, I think. It's genius. The AI add-on is an additional $5.95 a month on top of your subscription, right? So an extra $6, right? Or you can lock it in for a year and save yourself $10 for a year of having all these extra features, right? So SayIntentions go on. The AI expansion pack currently active on all subscribers up until May 10th. After that, it can be added to your plan directly, or if you don't want to use those new features, just continue on as normal with your premium subscription. I think it's just a great way to say, look, we hear what you're saying. We know you want more stuff. We want to build it, but there's a cost barrier for us to deploy this. We don't want to shake our existing customers to say, right, lads, listen, you are all having to pay more. I think it's a very community-focused thing. Do you know what I mean? And, well, hats off to them. Another way to support SayIntentions' future development. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. But it just goes to show that they're watching and they're very aware of what the community wants. That's a rare thing when it comes to businesses. It's a rare thing. It's like, no, you're all paying the extra. Look at we're so used to it. We're so used to it. Your Netflix and your Disney and all of this. We're so used to saying it's gone up an extra few. All right. Do you know what I mean? So it's refreshing to see that, I gotta say. So that's some of the stuff that's out now with SayIntentions, the new cabin crew, and we'll have more on that soon because some of them are brilliant. I'm brilliant. I'm in there. I was always in there. And I don't represent, not for a second, I don't represent any of those 70% realistic lads. I'm in the other side of it. I'm the easy or the easy part. You know what I mean? So yeah. Where is this now? Oh, good man. Muse, I'll probably check her out next week. But yeah, good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. There was an update yesterday. I also noticed some changes to Pilot Portal. Yeah, a couple of changes there as well in the Pilot Portal. Absolutely. Right. So head on over to the SayIntentions.ai website. You'll see what's there, right? When you look at the features, they've updated all the website, so it's quite easy now to find things. And you can see what the prices are, by the way. People are saying, oh, it's ridiculous. Yearly it works out at $15.83, 6 months, or you go euros. You get the idea, right? Now, that's without taxes. So you've put taxes on that. I think it's like 18 euros, is it? 19 euros a month, give or take. And then if you want to get more on top of that, you absolutely can. All right. So, yeah, great stuff from SayIntentions. We'll have a lot more.
Welcome aboard.
Oh, to see this.
Lisa, one of the AI crew leads from SayIntentions.
I didn't think this was live yet. Check this out. This is scary, lads, isn't it? Look at this. Look.
Welcome aboard. I'm Lisa, one of the AI crew leads from SayIntentions.ai.
Your cabin doesn't have to feel empty anymore.
We'll make the boarding, safety, service, and arrival announcements on your next flight. Whether you fly real-world airlines, virtual airlines, business jets, or charter flights, we're here for you.
Most of us take our jobs very seriously.
But a few of us are just sick of being here.
And if something goes wrong on your flight, we'll work with you to coordinate a solution.
Captain, we've got a medical emergency back here. I'll keep you posted, but I'd recommend diverting to Kalamazoo.
We'll make your next flight smarter, more alive, and closer than ever to the real thing.
We're your SayIntentions AI cabin crew, and we're ready to fly.
Isn't it? Right? That's where the world is going, lads. It's creepy and hilarious at the same time. Your one is brilliant. She's brilliant. She needs to be like, she's brilliant.
Are just sick of being here.
Right? Your cabin crew. Are the passengers ready? Don't ask me. Ask someone who cares. Right? What? That's Jemima. Brilliant. But watch this again. They did a great job here, lads. This is deadly. Loving this.
Welcome aboard. I'm Lisa, one of the AI crew leads from SayIntentions.ai.
Your cabin doesn't have to feel empty anymore.
We'll make the boarding, safety, service, and arrival announcements on your next flight. Whether you fly real-world airlines, virtual airlines, business jets, or charter flights, we're here for you.
Most of us take our jobs very seriously.
But a few of us are just sick of being here.
And if something goes wrong on your flight, we'll work with you to coordinate a solution.
Captain, we've got a medical emergency back here. I'll keep you posted, but I'd recommend diverting to Kalamazoo.
We'll make your next flight smarter, more alive, and closer than ever to the real thing.
We're your SayIntentions.ai cabin crew, and we're ready to fly.
It's deadly, isn't it? Like, man alive, isn't the world getting scary now? But like, that's the thing. Like, you can utilize your cabin crew on any flight. It's mad. It's pure mad. And now, like, with the new features with the AI add-on, they'll start remembering stuff. Could you imagine? Ah, Jesus, we're all in trouble now. So yeah, you can go check them out there. You can see you have the cabin crew, you have tour guides, mentors in there as well, ground crew is in there, and progressive taxi. Like, that's just class, absolutely class. So brilliant stuff there from SayIntentions. Right, we're now having a look at this, and then we're going to look at some hardware. And then I need to lie down. So what we have here, lads, this is the Mi-2 Hoplite. Strictly speaking, this is a Flight Sim 2020 add-on. They are working on a native 2024 version, right? But the good news is, well, it kind of works well in 24 right now, right? So it's from Digital Aeronautics. And what they're trying, or what they have been trying to do with this aircraft, it is that of, I don't like saying study level, it's high fidelity, meaning that you have to kind of study the thing and learn it in order to operate it. So with that, the aircraft is about 30 euros. That's including taxes. So it's about 25, 26 quid, right? And what we have here is, of course, a Soviet era Mi Hoplite. And it's an absolute mad looking thing, isn't it? Now, you're going to see some of the weirdness when it comes to 2024 and 2020. For example, there's two pilot avatars getting loaded in. There's Murph, and then there's the guy from 2020. Let's not worry about that for now. What is good, this thing looks incredibly good. The detailing they've done on the exterior, like, this is absolutely incredible. Flyby Gaz, welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to the news. Brilliant. Hope you had a great stream. We're checking out the Hoplite here, and then we're going to be looking at some hardware. The Rosefire overhead panel. But I hope you had a great stream, buddy. Thank you so much for bringing your guys in. Welcome in, lads.
Myself to introduce
myself. But like, I'm looking at the detail here on this chopper, and like, it's a buckets of detail, right? Chris, welcome in, buddy. It comes with a number of different liveries, including that for Poland, Germany, to name but a few. This one here, RA, I think this is South Africa, is it? Maybe I'm raving, but it's a big helicopter. And of course, it's all in Russian, which you can't understand. But apart from that, you know, I think the modeling here is superb. And the flight envelope, or the model in which this aircraft flies, it is, well, it's different. This thing flies like no other chopper I've flown in the sim. Difficult to easy-ish to pick up, but difficult to kind of master, right? It's Russian, is it? Is that Russian registration? RA? I suppose it is. But as you can see from... Oh, it is. Look, the Russian flag is on. Ah, Jesus. Yeah, it's South Africa, lads. Yeah. Ah, Jesus. But you can see from the detailing, look. I mean... Now, someone might say it's beautiful. In Soviet Russia, machine build man. Like, you know... The Russian yokes are just mad looking. They're cool looking, right? It's cool looking. So what we're going to do, well, I want to show you the interior. And welcome to the interior. And what you have on the inside is every bit as good as what we had on the outside. I want to show you some of the detail here. Like, look where a friggin' cyclic is with the lace. And everything moves and everything's where it needs to be, right? All the dials, the gauges, the reflections. This thing is top drawer stuff. I gotta say, this is top drawer stuff. It's Russian color too, yeah. I was so impressed with this. I was like, what? There's no way, right? Chris, good to see you, buddy. I'm only down the road in Tipperary. The overhead. And it goes beyond just the aesthetics. There's wonderful sound and there's system logics here as well. Make sure these lads are pulled, but I think I know how to start it. I could be wrong. And then we have our seating. And then a bit of cargo in the back as well. Isn't it mad? Look. And this gear works. Don't know what it does, but it works. Look at the seating configuration. These lads are facing the wrong way. These lads are facing the right way, but there's a big friggin' gearbox for the rotor. And then you have the pilot. Single pilot. But just look at the detail, lads. This is something you want to get in wearing gloves. Yeah, right. It looks filthy and I love it. So we'll close the door. There's the door closed, right? And from here on, I'm going to completely wing it to see what can I do. Up to the overhead, we're going to look for a button that says battery. Now, lads, I must admit, my Russian is as good as your Irish. So between the pair of us, we're going to struggle, but I reckon we'll wing it. We'll wing it, right? So let's have a look. Jesus. No, that's not it. Where's the second battery gone? Inverters. No. Up there, you. Easy now. English cockpit for some liveries. Yeah, I'm struggling here now because there's none here. No. No. Oh, Jesus, Murph. Which one's the shot? Oh, that's battery and generators. Right. I need to turn all these on now in a second. These are generators. That's the fire system thingy. I don't know what that does. Let's see here now. Oh, do you know what I've just realised? This thing is, that's not right. It's in complete Russian. Dad, game time. Machen Buchel. Janie. Hang on now. I wonder, do I need to go to a different livery of the aircraft I actually tested rather than trying to load in on this? Yeah, I'm going to have to, lads. Let's go to a different aircraft. I'm completely lost. Is that even a different variant, I wonder? Hang on. This will make total sense. I see a backwards R, right? Get into this one here. The German Rossers. And let's see what happens here, right? Now, go back into where you were. No, not there, you muppet. Ah, Jesus. In you go. And we'll do one of these. Here we go. Right, we'll try this again. It's also pretty cool as well. When it loads, it shows you different screenshots of the aircraft rather than looking at the map like Grand Theft Auto. Nice touch. Anyway, let's try that again. So we're in crikey, it's the German Rossers. Right. Let's try this again. This is better. Right, so up on top, battery, grand, inverter, running, warning, battery. I knew I'd find it. Now, have a look at this. They've simulated the friggin' current going through the system because it's pulsating. It's right? Isn't it absolutely brilliant? So I'm going to try and start this up to the best of my ability, which won't be great. We want those. We need that fan on because it's roasting. I think these guys go on. I could be wrong. Right. What else do we need to do? Come back up here now, Murphy. We need you on. Hoist motors, signal rockets, lighting, beacon. They're all good. That's the radio. Do you hear it? And there's a radio, right? So let's have a look. Gens are off, that's all okay. Gens, leave them alone. Fuel booster, pump 1 and pump 2. So go pump 1. They're looking good. Pump 1 is on. Cabin. Before start engine, starting is not completed. Don't perform starting the second one. Right. Let's give it a whirl and see what happens, will we? Sounds. Okay. Right engine. You can move the fan, you can't click it, but you can move it. Okay, good start. All gens. All right, we're looking good. I think we're looking good. Yeah, we're looking good. Alright. Can you turn off the kitchen machine in the background? It sounds deadly. Have a listen. Isn't this some gas altogether? Right, for my next trick. Man tries to fly Russian helicopter. Easy now. Easy now. Yepsy daisy. It's a big heavy machine, this. Oh, heck yeah. What do you think of it, lads? Isn't it very fab and groovy? Big machine. Dr. Arcade, welcome in, buddy. Not the easiest thing to fly, but it's cool. Greetings from Qatar. Welcome in, buddy. Hello from Tipperary. What do you think of it? Isn't it mad? It's very pretty. In a weird, mad-looking Soviet way, but I think it's a class-looking chopper. And it handles really well. I wonder has Epic Fool flown this yet? We can turn off that fan, yeah. Bit of rotor slap now, hang on. There is a bit of rotor slap there. Right, stick the nose down, see if we can go forwards here. I think they've done a phenomenal job with this. It looks incredibly good, doesn't it? I mean, the absolute hack of it, lads. The modelling is superb. Two-tone Vlad. It's very, very good. Like, when I first heard of this project... Oh, it's screaming at me. When I first heard of this project and saw some of the pictures, I was like, man alive, this looks awesome. And I gotta tell you, lads, this has lived up to the expectation. This is a phenomenally good helicopter. You know? A lot of these are also made by PZL. Yeah. Like, it handles so very different than most other choppers. It's a big, heavy, you know, yoke to throw around the place. Bit like myself. It's very, very good. It looks mad, but the detailing is absolutely gorgeous. It sounds great. The systems are all working. I mean, what is there not to like about this mad-looking devil of a machine? It's class. Now, can we land it is the next question. Where am I going? Over there? Oh no, we can land it here, look in front of us. What's the speed? Hey, Boss and Elf, good to see you. So we see, can we touch down, you know, and keep lives on scale? Easy now. Could they get any more switches into it? Big Al, good to see you, bud. Yeah, right, there's a little bit of room they could have got, yeah. Left side only, Mr. TPHI, yeah. Left side only. Right, so can we put this thing down? It's so much easier flying in VR, in choppers. Easy now. Easy now. Don't die, Murphy. Don't die, Murphy. Easy. Like, trying to get accurate at this thing will take a bit of training, no doubt. But it's a cool chopper. All right, safety down. Man, what a machine this is! What do you think, lads? I think it's brilliant. Now, again, look, it's a 2020 aircraft, but it's working in 2024, and it's working well, very well. Do we have any sort of illumination? They're floodlights. And a boy, Murph. Hit all the buttons. Don't know what that does. That's radio stuff. That's volume adjustment. Volume. Cabin lighting. Balls. Auxiliary instrument panel. There we go. So how do we turn these lads on? There's a big floodlight there. Left overhead, bottom row. Left overhead, bottom row. That's external, yeah, we can see that. It doesn't need lights, green paint. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so these are like floodlights. And then I'm sure there's other lights over here. So I imagine there's... Oh, hang on. Press all the buttons, Murphy. I'm sure there's like little switches and stuff we can mess with. Don't know what any of this stuff does. It's cool though, isn't it? Generator adjustment. Look, you can adjust the volts on the friggin' generator. Why would you do that? Blade select. What? Converter, cabin lighting, basic or otherwise. Here's your lights here, you muppet. See the big switch that says lights, look. The big massive switch there that said lights. What a muppet. Auxiliary. Jeez, they're not great. Come up there now. Jesus. That's cool looking, isn't it? You have to think in Russian. In Soviet Russia, we fly daytime. No need for lights. What a magnificent machine. I will be flying this more and more. Tomas, oh, they're buggy in 24. Got it, okay. What'd you think of it? If it wasn't on your radar and you like flying helicopters, put it on your radar, lads. You will be pleasantly surprised with how good that machine actually is, right? It's very, very good. Right, we're moving on now to our last segment. Let's have an outlook here. We're going to load into this puppy. And we'll put it down. Hobart, can you get an owl airliner in there? Probably not. Where we go? We go somewhere big. Can Mount Hotham take a friggin' airliner? Says you, it will now. Right, load this puppy in here now. And we'll let that load in, right? So, friends, what we're going to do next is going to be something kind of cool. So, let me see. I'll do one of those. Do one of those. These. One of those. And one of them. Ready to fly. Into the gadget we go. And just sit there and don't touch anything. Right. We're coming over to this screen, look. Over here. Here's more lights. Right, lads. What we're going to have a look at now is something... well, it's hardware, right? And it's hardware from Rosefire. And what we have up in this box is just the box. It is that of their Rowsfire A107 Max overhead panel, and it's a USB device, and you use it as an overhead panel in your sim. So I have the unit here beside me, and hopefully all my stuff works, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. So I have the unit here beside me. We've two cameras looking at it. Hopefully you can see what's happening, right? So we have our top-down view, and we have our side-on view. Now, before we start, it's important to note there is a protective film on this panel. So if it comes across as a little bit shiny, or indeed you can see one or two marks in it, it's only because there's like this plastic protective film on it, and I haven't peeled it off yet, you see. But what we have here from Rosefire, and like this is a very competitive space. This is version 3.1 of this hardware, and what they've managed to do since, you know, all of their upgrades, they've brought in new switches, new knobs, and they've also brought in new core upgrades. What they've done mainly is they've worked on the backlighting, 150% brighter than the original version 3, 50% brighter than version 2. And the motherboard integrates high-power lamp beads paired with dual-screen printing and film coating technology, ensuring clear display even in strong light for a superior visual experience. The panel has been doubled panel clarity, replacing UV printing with upgraded screen printing technology, boasting resolution equivalent to paper printing. That delivers finer detail and more realistic colour reproduction. They've also added in smoother button operation, features an independent keyframe design to reduce key jamming caused by tolerance between the panel and the base plate. The key sticking probability is directly reduced by 50%, remaining responsive even with long-term use. They have significantly enhanced the panel rigidity, adopts a 4mm thick acrylic panel combined with an independent keyframe structure, Each key acts as a support pillar, and rigidity is increased by 30%. And they've upgraded scratch resistant and durability. So this has all been achieved with their version 3. So what we have here, they've also worked on their software. Now you can buy this panel, it's available right now, and it retails for $379.99 US dollars. $379.99. So for $380 we say, right? And what we have here, well, looking at the panel, anyone who flies Airbus, well, you're going to be right at home with it. Now, I'll change around the camera angle so you'll get a better idea. Again, if you look on this screen, I'll bring this up to you. You can kind of see where that protective film is. That's where I tried to go at it here in the corner. It's just a protective film. So if you do see scratches or marks, that's just the plastic film. You can see it there where the wiper is, look. So it's only the plastic. You just peel off the plastic. But as I said, I haven't done that yet. But I want to show you the detail. And we'll get more into that camera view in a moment when I'm showing off the detail, right? But what we have, it's a USB overhead panel, and it comes with mounting options on the rear, which is this 100 by 100 millimeter VESA mount, VESA mount. And the idea being is then you can clamp this onto any kind of traditional VESA mount, and then you can stick it on as an overhead. Has one USB-C connection right here, meaning that it's not the ideal panel to be lying flat on the ground. You would have to have some way to kind of angle this if you weren't going to mount it overhead. Just be careful though, because you do have that USB connection right there, so that might have a little impact on where you're going to be mounting it to. These things are designed to be above your head, right? Now, looking along the sides of it, right, it is, you have a mix of components here. We have like metal here in the back, and then we have plastic on the front. That's kind of the makeup from it. It's not particularly heavy. It's about the weight of an iPad, right? Which is good news if you are considering, mounting this above you. It's roughly the weight of an iPad, right? And it has the usual kind of QC pass. These are all checked out by Rosefire, and away we go. The main thing with this is this adds just a new layer of complexity, if you like, but also realism. And I want you to have a listen to some of the sounds here. I'll bring it over here so you can hopefully hear the sounds with some of the switches, right? With me camera skills being absolutely terrible. Have a listen, right? If I move some of these switches, for example, and some of these switches are three-way switches. So for example, dome lights, you have off, dim, and bright. And then you have something for your IRSs over here. So you can hear them clicking away there, goodo. Then we have the main buttons as well, right? So if you want their main buttons, the sounds deals, some of them are like spring-loaded, and other ones aren't. So you do get a nice bit of kind of response off them, if that makes sense, right? You're not touching or pressing into buttons that are just, the whole panel is moving away from you. Now, I did notice on some of the fire extinguisher lights, and these all light up, we'll put some power in it in a moment. I don't know, is it a quality thing, but they don't seem to fit kind of tightly in. There's a little bit of play in these switches. Now, that could be fixed with a bit of glue. But it's just, I don't know, it's just the fit. I'll bring it up on it. We'll have a look at this screen here, look. Here we go. We'll go to this screen now. So these ones here, do you see the fire switches up on top, right? And if I angle this ever so slightly and don't drop it, there's a wee bit of movement. Just see this kind of stuff? Now, it's not going to be a big problem, but I noticed when I opened this out of the box, see the frame around it? See that little bit of movement? Like, I can literally take that frame off if I want. So I don't know, is it a quality control thing where they're designed to be light? Or what I think, right, is because they know you want to take the plastic off it, you want to take these off first, because the plastic definitely goes in underneath. Look, if I take that out, the plastic goes right up to these. So maybe it's a case that, yeah, they did that because you want to get the plastic on or off, right? But it doesn't fall off. It doesn't come out in your hands or any of that, right? So looking across what we have here in terms of detail, and I'll try and keep this as stable as I can. So up in the top left-hand corner, you have your ADIRSs or ADIRs, 3 position switches. And you also have on-off switches, right? Moving down the panel then, we go to our ground proximity warnings. We can have our terrain on or off, systems, landing flap 3, oxygen is here, ground recorder, and also your cabin calls. All right. As I move across, underneath, we have our external lighting, and some of these are three-way switches. So for your strobes, they're off, auto, and on. Runway lights, on, off, or runway turn off. Then we have our landing lights. Again, three-way switch, and these are durable. I mean, you can give these to Belle if you want. Jesus. They're durable switches. They feel tight. There's no you can flip them around and go absolutely bananas, right? Moving across the top, then we have our two engines, but our 3 fire warnings. So all these test buttons work, and then you get your fire light for your 2 engines and your APU. You have all your fuel tanks, cross-feed system. We have our battery, and you notice there are 2 screens here. These screens work, and they'll actually show you the voltage of the battery. You have Battery Master 1 and 2, and then you have your external power switch over here. Now, some of the switches are just on a little spring. Some of them are an actual click, which is pretty cool. So like your probe, APU bleed, and you can open and close aircon units. We also have our windscreen wipers, one side only. That's important. You only get one wiper, right? You have your integrated lighting. All right. And then underneath that, then a couple of more lights. So that's the panel. And if I get the camera right up there, hopefully you can kind of see the detail. It is a very nice finish. And as I say, if you see any marks or scratches, it's just the plastic protective film still sitting on it. See the little marks there? That's just the plastic overhead. But hopefully you can see just from the detail and how sharp the printing now is. Isn't that pretty? Absolutely brilliant. And then on the back, as I say, where you have your mounting options, right? So that's for your VESA mount, or your VESA mount, and there's your USB-C connection. And that's kind of it, right? That's kind of it. It's a button box in the style of in the style of Airbus, right? And that's what it does. So for me next trick, but I'm going to plug it in and show you the lights because it's absolutely deadly. You can get a desk mount for it. Kieran Niall, who's in the chat, showed me a very good mount that he picked up. And you can pick up those mounts relatively cheap. You know what I mean? Now, you might be saying, right, Murph, software. Give that a moment to warm up. So in the box, it'll be grand. In the box, it comes with, and packaging is very good. It comes with the usual kind of, I won't break in transport, but it also comes then with, what do we have here? This is your instruction manual. It comes with a manual. How many times have we said there's no shagging manual? These lads give you a manual, and they also give you then instructions to go to your QR code. It's on the back, and that's where you can get your software and get it registered and all this kind of stuff. All right? So they give you enough stuff in the box, which is good. Aegis and Aegitor. Now, in terms of setting it up, Rosefire have their own software. And it's a one-click solution. This is compatible out of the box with the fly-by-wire A32NX, the A380. It works with the Phoenix A320, works with the Inabuilds A320, it works with the A340, and it works on the new Tolus and Aerosoft A340. And I've also seen this thing using the likes of MobiFlight, compatible with just about anything, including Boeing. Now, you lose some features when it comes to Boeing, but not all. Not all, right? Hey, Hammy's here. Good to see you, buddy. RTFM, right? Good to see you. Now, I want to fire up MobiFlight because that's the link in the box sends you to MobiFlight. You grab the profile, then you just start MobiFlight. And MobiFlight will connect to your SIM, you turn on the gadget, and then boom, you should be good to go, right? So I'll let all this run up, and then hopefully we'll get some power into the gadget, and I can show you the thing up and running. Because it's pretty cool, I have to say. Like, I didn't think it would have been, you know, when I saw the wing control stuff, I was like, oh man, that looks absolutely deadly, right? But then when you start looking around, and again, at FS weekend, Gibbo and Muse rambled over to Rosefire, and fair play, Gibbo had a good chat with them. They have quality stuff. The pricing, like what, $380? It's not the cheapest out there, but it's already out there. And that's kind of the thing you want to do. And they do more than just this. They also do the Boeing stuff, depending on what your flavour is going to be. Maybe now that you have you know, wing control, bringing out the Airbus stuff. Well, if you're a Boeing pilot and you were considering someone like Rosefire, you know, should I be buying their products? Are they any good? Well, this is the first product I've seen from them. I'm impressed. Genuinely, I'm impressed. It's quite strong. It's rugged. It's packaged very well. And there's almost no setup. Almost, you plug it in, turn on MobiFight, and away you go, right? So, let's see here now. If I turn that on, I heard buttons. And if I go to me little gadget over here, I just want to turn on my GPU, look. Or external power. Yeah, external power should be there. We'll see what happens. So, how do we show this now without breaking things? We'll go back to this camera. I'll show you this. And again, just have a look at the, or have a listen to the sounds, right? Now, I wonder, should I bring some of the, do you know what I'll do, lads? Do you know what I'll do? I'll put you in there to hold it. And I'll also dim the lighting. Ooh, he's dimming the lighting. Just to show you, right? Now, this could be a terrible idea. And hang on. We'll do more with the lighting. If we turn off that big fella. Yes. And that fella. Hopefully this gives you an idea. So you can see the panel is alive
Dreamy,
already.
sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Good man, Hans Gruber. Yeah. But the problem is they all turn back on. Jesus, you can bring him nowhere. You know that? Turn that off. Turn that off. Ah, Jesus. Turn that off. And turn that off. Will that even turn off now? Hans, you're after breaking it. Okay, look, that kind of half worked. Right, we'll have a look at this now, right? Because what I want to do, I want to see if there's power coming in, right? And make sure that everything's talking to it. So we should have ground power connected, which I think we're doing the same. There's life. So if we go battery 1, battery 2, all right. And depending on the cameras that you're looking at, if I bring this across to this other fancier camera here on my side, that's the lighting. But not only is that the lighting, see the dimmer switch? So that's like the lighting at its like lowest possible BJNI. That's its highest. And as we're looking at all these switches, we'll have a look, right? Let me see. If we were to turn the pack switches from off to on, it's instant. Pumps. Crossfeed says it's open. We'll turn that off. Let's do our fire tests. I'll do this in such a way that hopefully you can see it. So that's in the aircraft itself. Right? And then the last one, and just have a look at the lighting, because the lighting is good. Isn't it very good? It's very, very good. So back over here, we have a look at it in situ. And from here, have a listen then to the buttons and just how quickly it responds, right? Instant. So adheres. 1, 2, 3. Landing flap on. Oxygen. Ground control. Terrain. Leave them on. And you can see even the battery voltage is here now as well. Also the APU. Seatbelt signs, no smoking. Emergency signs. Nav lights. Wing lights. Right. What else do we need to press here? Wait for that APU to fire up. So we'll go ahead and power up that APU. And the aircraft is responding in real time instantly. Absolutely instantly. Right? So what we'll do, we'll go through the, like this is, hopefully this is showing you the gadget in all its glory, right? Or at least I hope it is. So let me see here now. What do I need to do? Get rid of that, right? Do one of those. And if I bring you along now with this guy, this will now show you, hopefully, what I'm looking at in terms of that lighting. And then all the buttons and switches. Now see the way we have the APU available? APU bleed, it's already on. I turned that on. Turn it off. Or turn it on. Right? Now if I turn off the external power, watch this. Now you'll notice that the backlight has turned off, but the instrument is still alive. Right? And this is something cool. External power gives me power into the main unit. And I don't know, is this something in the real world, or is this just the way this gadget is designed? I'll turn off the external power, but then in the aircraft, I'll then disconnect the GPU. When I disconnect the GPU, the panel lights up again. So I don't know, is that real Airbus logic? I couldn't tell you. But it's absolutely deadly. Because I thought, I said, like, right, I'm brilliant, I broke it. I didn't break it. And again, have a look at these lights with this lighting. Isn't it very good? I think it's absolutely deadly, lads. So it is. Absolutely deadly. So it is the Rowsfire A107 Max overhead panel. What are your thoughts on it? Have you any questions on it? Would you like to know more? Right? Get some lights back up here into the parish so we can see what we're doing. Right? What do you think of it, lads? Isn't it pretty cool? Like, as I say, for the price, but it's more to do with, you know, it's more to do with availability. This thing is available right now, and unfortunately the likes of what we're seeing on the way from Wind Control, very exciting, it's not out yet. So maybe it's a case that you're saying, right, listen, I want to grab this now, or I'm also aware of their Boeing products. I want to grab some of their Boeing products because I'm quite impressed with this. It functions, everything you need. Literally, I mean, for the size of this, like, to give you a comparison, right? I need to power it off if I do this. I'll power it off because I want to show you an actual size comparison in case you're thinking, Murphy, what size is the gadget? Jesus. Right, I'll show you here now, look. Oh, my lights turned back on, they did. To give you an actual side comparison, right? There's me lazy Susan, look. If I were to put my phone down beside it, and that's just, like, it's an iPhone. Do you get the idea? Like, it's not a massive, huge, annoying thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not terribly, but it's you know, it's in no way small, but it's not massive either. And the weight of it, as I say, it is similar to that of an iPad, give or take, right? And the depth of it, I mean, it's not very thick, and you have that VESA mount option. Absolutely ideal over your TV, or you put it on a sport arm that, you know, it's out in front of you, but it does need that VESA mount. Now, I can be real awkward and mad here because I actually did more science. Look, if I wanted to, and I'll show you this here now. We'll bring this camera around. I'll press buttons here now, lads, right? I'll bring this camera around there now, lads, and we'll bring the camera. There's me there now with all the lads. But look, I can actually mount this onto a standard tablet mounting system. That's where I put my James, look at the lovely Crocs. That's where I put my iPad, and I can actually mount onto the same unit. So maybe that's an option for you. Like, that's literally just one of those. You know, the expanding fellas, it'll actually fit in there, which is absolutely class. Absolutely class. Do you know what I mean? So Jesus. Lovely Crocs. Lovely Crocs. So hopefully that gives you a good overview or an insight. When you see the things in an actual flight sim setup, a lot of the time you see them, they're either already mounted, you know, or they're showing them off at an event or something, and you're saying, you know, will that actually fit in my own area? Will it fit in my own space? Like, for the size of it, lads, right? I mean, that's it. But it's very nice. The build quality on this, I don't know the earlier versions, if people had them, would, like, they may not be happy with them with the build quality. This I thought is quite good. Zang. This is version 3.1 on the box. So if you're buying one, you make sure you get version 3.1. You know what I mean? Will it fit in my own creative space? Yeah, it might do. It might do. Sprockets is here. Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, it's I think it's cool. I think it's cool. especially for your airliner stuff. Again, you can use this using MobiFlight. You can use this on any aircraft. You might have to mess around with some of the buttons, right? But the likes of, say, your lighting, no hassle at all. Homewrecker, what was the question? Hang on. Not trying to be silly, but what's the overhead thing you do? I mean, the overhead in a citation is as much difference. Yeah, it depends on the system. Homewrecker, it depends on the systems of the aircraft. So this is designed specifically for an Airbus, you know, a 318, a 319, a 320, the 320 family. That's what this is designed for. 2 engines. You have you have 3 Adirs. So if you're in the Boeing only has 2 Adirs. That'll leave either one or this one in op. But you can bind it to something else. You know what I mean? Like, in a real aircraft, usually up on the overhead, it's to do with your electrical systems, usually pneumatic systems, hydraulic systems, external lighting, internal lighting, and they'll vary from aircraft to aircraft. Of course they will. But yeah, pretty good. The shillings, Muse fan, it's $379.99. So it's $380. It's about... Delivered, you're probably talking 400 smackers. Probably. To Ireland, probably. You know. But yeah, again, it's the fact that it's not just the Airbus stuff. They also do Boeing stuff, and that's where the thing shows a real advantage. We'll come back over here. Look, we're jumping around many chairs this evening because I want to show you the other stuff that they showcase, right? So, for example, right, Rosefire. Did my lights turn off? Oh, they did. Rosefire. Let's look at their website. We can show you here, right? So their latest and greatest toy is this. This is their Boeing B107 B73 overhead panel. Now, they're doing 2 of these. This is the first one. They're working on a pro version for this, right? This is $660. And they are saying they're going to do a pro version, because if you look at this, you'll say, hang on, there is actually stuff missing. So you can see the differences. Up here we have our IRSs, yaw dampener switch, that's all okay. Fuel pumps are there. You also have your battery, emergency lights. We have our drive systems. You have your generators, external lights, APU. You also have an exhaust gas temperature monitor dial. Right, that's awesome. More lights, electrical and hydraulic pumps. This is a little bit different than the real aircraft, right? You have your flight level for pressurization, and then you have your bleeds. I'm like, for $670, Jesus, like, Jesus. Limited time promotion. You can get $100 off it right now. Look, $593. Orders placed before March 11, ship from March 16th. Orders placed after March, ship in April. So that is... You can see a video here. Can we get rid of the audio? So you can kind of... This is the Boeing one. Jeez, it looks nice though. The Boeing one I really like the look of. A107 is about £280 for the UK folks. Don't know about shipping. I'd safely say probably £40 for shipping, Stu. You know... That is pretty, lads, isn't it? And the lighting. And like, if this is anything like the Airbus one, the A107, this is very good. Bearing in mind, Wind Control have only announced their Airbus style overhead. They're not available even to pre-order yet. So you could be looking at minimum 6 months before you see those. So maybe you have scope here to think, do you know what? This isn't a bad looking machine. If I'm Airbus, that A107, I think it's very good. For the price, lads, right? And then if you look at the Boeing stuff, I'm looking at the Boeing stuff going, Jesus. I'll ask them very nicely. Now, there is talk of working on a pro build, as I say. And whatever they're going to do on the pro build, couldn't tell you. But they have other options, right? So here's the A107. That's what we're showcasing tonight. They also do their own ATC panel. Again, this is where Wind Control have really jumped in. This is going for $249, right? This gives you a radio and transponder with wing control giving you just the transponder for now. So you do have options here. When you consider the price, $250 for both, well, that's not terribly bad, is it? Free worldwide shipping, currently 10% off. In the basket, it works out at £252, depending on the exchange rate. That's not bad, like. Do you know, it's not bad. And like, lads, I have absolutely zero affiliation when it comes to selling these units or trying to get you to buy them. None at all. This is something that looks cool. Gibbo did the background work. It's here in front of you because we wanted to show it off. Do you think something like this would be worth it to your flight sim setup? I can say, by me using this, looking at the build quality, yes. For the price, absolutely. Absolutely. If it was one of the earlier versions, version 2, I'd have been, I don't know. But this is quite good. You know, I'd happily recommend this. If you wanted to get something else for your Airbus setup, I would consider Rosefire. Definitely. You know? But yeah, Murph, when I had the house refurbed and the kitchen, I had toggle switch knobs put in instead of traditional light switches. No way. No way. Martin, welcome in. To be honest, I can fully understand why the full cockpit are so blazing expensive when they include all these things. But here's the thing, lads, right? If you go back to...
I'm gonna pull the big switch, good buddy.
Whoa! Baron Cito, thank you very much indeed for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you had a great stream. We're almost finished. We're just talking about the news. And we were checking out the Rowsfire A107 Max overhead panel. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Thank you very much indeed for the raid, buddy.
Myself.
And welcome in, guys. Hope you had a great stream. So, yeah, like, if you were to go back and look at the original overhead panels for flight sim enthusiasts, you were talking thousands. You were talking thousands. Back in 2020, we were looking at Boeing-style overhead panels. They were about $3,500 to $4,000. And you needed another couple of £100 to run the software. That's just the way it was. Now it's completely different. That entire overhead panel works on one USB connection. Just one. Plug it in, away you go. And for that, you're getting, what are they, J's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You're getting almost 50 buttons. 50 buttons. That you can use their software, or you can use MobiFlight, and this can do pretty much anything you want. You can bind anything to it. It's an input device. You know what I mean? So you can customize it and have the crack with it. Do you know? But yeah, that's pretty cool looking at the radio and the transponder. That's a neat little buy. And for £250, then they have this screen. We were looking at these as well. The 108 panel. This was £300, and I was thinking, Jesus, that's a bit kind of, you're 10% off. But it's designed as a Boeing screen because they give you the little frame stuff with it. Couldn't count higher than 21, right? Then you have the A111 radio, and that's pre-sale. So how much is this going to be? $290. So that's a full radio solution. Again, it's Airbus style, but that's a full Airbus solution. That's pretty cool looking. I gotta say, it's cool looking stuff. And the build quality, I'm basing it on the A107 version 3. Note, there's a version 3. So, you know, they've been re-engineering this thing to make it better. You know what I mean? What else do we have? A112 cockpit lighting and weather radar, $150. And it all has the backlighting as well. That's what's class about all this. You know what I mean? Transponder with floodlight. Like, that's where they're at now. So they have... The only thing they don't have here at the minute is the throttle and the MCDUs. But you're like, wing control already have that stuff. And then you have the Boeing stuff. You know what I mean? Then you have all the Boeing stuff. B-series gear, they call it. Garmin G1000s, get out of here. They've Garmin stuff. Ooh, a G1000 for about $870 US. What else do they do? Accessories. The A108. Oh, that we already saw that. The B101. Ah, nice. It's a little EFIS for a Boeing. $150. Check them out, lads. Discount renewed products. Discount renewed products. So there's the earlier version. Yeah. Version 2 of the A106 overhead panel. $120. Like, you get the idea. Do you know what I mean? But check them out, lads. As I said, that's the first bit of kit I've used ever from Rosefire. I've never used them before. Ever. I saw them at FS Weekend. But I gotta say, I am well impressed with the build quality alone. And how easy it was. Just plug it in. Moby Flight, Phoenix, boom. Worked. Operational, start to finish, less than 10 minutes. Brilliant. Right. If any of you guys have overhead panels, if they're a different brand or this brand, let us know. Good to get in our discussion to see what's great and what's really great. You know what I mean? And also, if you'd like to see more hardware stuff on the channel, let me know. Right? I'm more than happy to show it off. Hopefully this helps when you look at everything in these kind of views. You can kind of... Does that even work? You can kind of get an idea, hopefully, of what all the gear looks like, you know, when we do this sort of upsy-downy stuff, right? That's the wrong button completely. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully this is, it's a good insight for you to say, yeah, Murph, will you grab such and such and we'll try and show it off. You know, you could have to put one of those on the roof of the Skoda. That'd be deadly, wouldn't it? Had to close the website before I press buy now, right? So what is your button limit? Just I couldn't tell you. 1,000, they say, 1,000. But any sort of hardware at all, lads. If you're interested, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to showcase it off. If you find this useful, if this is helpful, if it's able to, you know, provide you with enough information that's either going to say, yeah, I want this, or no, definitely not. That's all I'm trying to do. As I said, there's no driving me to try. I'm not working for Rosefire. They very kindly sent one out for a review. It's reviewed. It's very good. It's very good. And for that price point as well, yeah, I think it's very, very good. Do you know? Right, that's going to do us. All the button connection on one BS. Yeah, one USB, yeah. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy. But yes, thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in tonight. Lads, we're back tomorrow. Can you show me how to lock all websites in the marketplace and the missus? Bring her out for dinner and say nothing. I have the Java Simulator A320 overhead panel, paid $700 when it came out. Jeez. Yeah, we didn't have these options before, lads. We just didn't have these options. Now, we've options. And there's a lot more options with, of course, Wing Control bringing more. But Rosefire has the stuff ready to go now. And they have the Boeing stuff. So, very interesting. Anyway, we're back tomorrow morning. 1000 Zulu. We're going to be doing more with the L1011 Tristar. Then we're going to get ourselves situated for tomorrow night's FSLTL flight as we fly out of Tromsø over to Svalbard. And then on Friday night, we're exploring Australia as we go for an owl hop. We're taking the Cessna 310 or twin engine out for an owl jaunt on Friday night, so very much looking forward to that. But guys, as always, I want to thank you so very much indeed for tuning in, for hanging out, and for sharing your thoughts and opinions. I'll also send that email asking the question about minimum charges on the marketplace. There'll be drama now. Get your popcorn ready and we'll find out what happens there. But all the raids and raiders, guys, thank you so very, very much indeed for showing and sharing all the support throughout the world of Twitch. It's very much appreciated, and thank you very much indeed. And we shall see you all tomorrow at 1000 Zulu time. Until then, you take care. Microsoft, it's Murph. Someone clip this if you can. Do you hear the sounds? I've been blaming aircraft developers. Asobo or Microsoft need to fix this. Do you hear the noise? Outside the plane? You need to fix that, lads. It's the... Think about it now, right? I'll sing it for you. Everybody's looking at my tight pants. He's got his tight pants. He's got his tight pants on. I'm actually not wearing tight pants at all. No, they're loosey-gooseys. Do you know, but the mod control, from a viewer perspective, it makes the whole thing quite negative, doesn't it? When you delete, you're sitting there and you're thinking, Jesus, this is painful to watch. This is like watching the end of Glen Rowe or... Don't panic! Just hope for the best, Murphy. Oh, Jesus! Don't end in it. Oh, fear and terrible. Yep. Oh.
Banking. Up.
Shh. Did you hear that bang? Did you? How do we fix this? Right, don't panic. Oh!